Hey, welcome to SportsCaster.com and WJR's broadcast of the Orchard Lake St. Mary and Warren De La Salle football game on this Friday night. We are incredibly excited to be here at St. Mary's Prep in Orchard Lake. Gorgeous evening again, team, for another football game. You got the sun fading a little bit here. The red field that represents the colors of St. Mary's. The stands, you know, the De La Salle fans over there, St. Mary's fans over here. It's going to be packed, and it's going to be a great matchup here tonight. I am joined by my right by a St. Mary's Prep student here, Antonio Chamas, former football player, senior here at St. Mary's. We're going to get his thoughts on attending St. Mary's and what these Catholic League games are all about. Taryn Fritching from Troy Athens High School. You've seen her the last couple of weeks. Our featured analyst is going to join us to talk about these two teams. She was able to talk to some of the players this week, give us her thoughts on De La Salle versus St. Mary's, which is a top 25 matchup. And our good friend Kristen Kujwa, who once again is ready to try to stump me with some who knew. But a little bit of housekeeping. Oh, sorry. I get into my role
I'm ready.
here.
That's right, Michael.
My role here. A couple of ways that you can, at 7 o'clock, you can listen to the game. You can go on the WJR Facebook page. You can listen to the WJR app on your phone or wherever you listen to WJR. WJR 760 AM. Tune into your radio. You can listen to it then. You can go to SportsCaster.com, SportsCaster YouTube channel, or SportsCaster Facebook page. All right, so let's just start. Taryn, I'm going to start with you. Kind of like set the scene for us here. This is your third week covering games. You have seen De La Salle once this year when they beat Davison in the opener. Here you are now. Take me through week 3. Take me through this environment and your just thoughts on this great matchup.
So I am very excited for this game because it is a conference matchup between St. Mary's Prep and Warren De La Salle. And I haven't seen a lot of energy, but I'm hoping that both teams do bring it because I'm starting to see that student section fill up over there. And we have seen two really great student sections. De La Salle student section in week 1 was tremendous. Loved them. And Dexter's and Celine's from last week were really good. So I'm really hoping that St. Mary's can bring it. It looks like they're doing beachy Hawaiian theme. I'm not seeing anyone from De La Salle, so I'm wondering. But I just really hope that they can bring it. They got the cheerleaders. They've been doing some stunts and whatnot. And I'm just really looking forward to the fans just hyping up. It seems like they'll hype up St. Mary's more than they will De La Salle, but we'll see how that ends up affecting the game because I think that fans have a real big effect on the game.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't know where the student section is for De La Salle. They were out in full force at that game at Wayne State in week 1, so I'm a little disappointed they're not here tonight. Antonio Chamas, a senior here at St. Mary's Prep. Is it beach theme? What was the actual theme that they were supposed to come out with?
So I'm pretty sure it's tropical theme, so I know if they're going to bring a beach ball, they're going to have it packed up in there.
Ooh, that's going to be fun. Beach balls are good.
Let me ask you, Antonio, when you guys have had a couple of games already this season, but does it land a little stronger when you're taking on De La Salle? I mean, these are two traditional football powers. What was it like in school this week getting ready for this game?
You know, it's always big, you know, especially because it's in the Catholic League, and guys love matching up. It's always like fun to see. You know, no matter what the seeding is, the rankings. Every time it's a Catholic League game, it's always close or it's always a good game. I know around St. Mary's, being hyped for it. Everyone's been talking about it, especially today. You see posters around the hallways, see everyone talking about it. So I mean, I'm excited to see how St. Mary's comes out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big game for them because they are the underdog at the moment. De La Salle is ranked. We were just talking to Stu Carlin, who runs the D-Zone, a great prep site that covers Michigan high school sports. And I think, what was it, 2 versus 29 that he had?
Yes.
Was that what it was, Taryn? 2 versus 29. De La Salle, second-ranked team in the state. I saw another one that they were number 3 in the state. And Orchard Lake was number 21. So you've got a top 25 matchup. And so far, Taryn, De La Salle has lived up to their billing this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, because even when I talked to St. Mary's linebacker Charles White earlier this week, he said that they're coming into this game as an underdog, and that's that's a mindset that you never want to have, that you know you're an underdog, but you also want to prove it out there, because he knows, and I bet you any money that that St. Mary's knows that as well, that they know that De La Salle is that great team because they went to the state finals last year, and that's really huge. And De La Salle is playing to win it. They're playing to prove themselves because they know how bad that hurt. And again, I'm just excited to see what St. Mary's has in store. Will they surprise De La Salle? Maybe De La Salle's like, we're all in this. I don't know. We'll see that tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk in just a few minutes about the actual teams, the actual matchup here. A couple of interesting quarterback situations going on between the Pilots and the Eaglets. But first, I want to kick it to our friend here, Kristen Kuchera.
Oh, hey.
For our special feature. Like you wrote it down wrong on my rundown here. You wrote it as "Did you know?" It's
Who knew, right? So
So
our co-founder Jeff Sloan, he decided that this pregame needed a who knew. So our fans listening knew a little something about the background of our two schools. I looked at it as a challenge, Michael, to see if I could stump you with fun facts about the school every week that we're going to be at.
Well, last week you definitely stumped me about the Dreadnoughts, so I
Yeah.
am ready for it.
Okay.
What have you got for us from St. Mary's?
All right. So St. Mary's, first of all, did you hear the eaglet cry a little while ago? Did you hear that in the stands? I felt like it was in that direction.
Yes.
I did not.
You did. Okay. Well, Taryn heard it.
Okay.
So one of my who knew, Michael, the eaglet. Why is St. Mary's? Why is their mascot the eaglet?
All right, I'm going to guess that this stadium, this whole St. Mary's Prep, is home to that bird, whatever that is.
Ooh,
that
good
it's like
guess.
they nest around here.
Oh, good guess. Possibly, but no.
Oh.
The eaglet is actually part of the Polish flag, as is the red and white. And originally, when the school was founded in 1885, it used to be a Polish-American boys' school. A Catholic Polish-American boys' school that was training boys to be priests. So that's where it came from. So we have the eaglet and we have the red and white, all as elements of the Polish flag.
Okay, I got to ask Antonio, do they serve Polish food here during cafeteria lunch hour?
I mean, I haven't seen a lot. I know there are Polish weeks, Punchki Day. They got them all around the school, right? But I can't say that we've seen a lot of Polish food around here.
I got to say, that is a missed opportunity from St. Mary's.
Right?
There should be, at least every month, there should be Polish Day.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a recommendation. Hopefully they're listening right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is not a who knew, but it is because we're on the beautiful campus of St. Mary's today. It's 125 acres. The school was originally located on the east side of Detroit, and in 1909 they moved here just outside of Orchard Lake, right on the lake here. It's beautiful. It must be so amazing to come to school here every day on this beautiful campus. All right, here's my second one for you, Michael.
Okay.
How the Eaglet football team has reached the state finals how many times?
Antonio, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go, Antonio.
I've been in that weight room. I know that they got the titles up there. So I want to say maybe 5.
Oh, so close, but no. 14 times.
Wow, I was way off.
Yeah,
That's
and they have
embarrassing.
won 8 of those.
8 of 14.
8 of 14.
Pretty good success rate when they get to the championship.
Right, right.
Well, that's pretty good. That's
so,
pretty good.
And on our other side, we have De La Salle, our purple and yellow team over there. And De La Salle is an all-boys Catholic high school that's run by the De La Salle Christian Brothers. They were founded in 1926. They also were located on the east side of Detroit before moving to Warren in 1982. But here's my trick for you, Michael. What is their mascot?
Well, they're a pilot.
They are the Pilots, but do you know why they're called the Pilots?
Well, last week the Dreadnoughts turned out to be a boat, so I'm going to guess that the Pilots because I do believe that De La Salle was originally in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, which is on Lake St. Clair. I'm going to say that it's like a steamboat pilot.
Ooh, no, not at all. They their original their original location on the east side of Detroit, on Connor and Glenfield, if people know where that is. The Detroit City Airport was built right after the school started, and the planes would take off, and it would rattle the building so ferociously that they ended up having to move locations. Hence the name they took on, the pilots.
Who
Who knew? Who knew? Isn't this a fun segment?
It's honestly, it's my favorite part of the week. Is this 5 minutes that we do.
But
here.
I have one more for you, and this I bet you know.
I gotta cut you off.
Yes, I have one more. I know you know it.
Okay.
Give me the most recent NFL player from De La Salle. He's playing for the Kansas City
Mike
Chiefs.
Shanna, he's a defensive end. He went to the University of Michigan after going to Central Michigan.
Yes, he did. I knew you knew it. All right, Michael. There you go.
Well, I appreciate it, Kristen. Who knew? Those were some great facts. We've only got a couple minutes here, so I just want to hit Taryn. Tell me who to look out for this De La Salle team, and then we'll come over to Antonio and know who to look out for St. Mary's. But who is, if there's going to be a game-changing play that De La Salle ends up turning the momentum in their favor, who is that play offensively and who is that player defensively tonight?
So offensively, I really want to see Santi Gasparoni just kick it up a notch, because we went into that week one, we thought that he was going to be this great player, and then junior quarterback Anthony Batanti came out there, had 3 touchdowns on offense, and then had the 45-yard fake punt.
He did,
and that was just such a game changer. So I really hope to see Santi play more, and then I also hope to see Phoenix Glasnor, because he is just such a quick and speedy player that I really just hope that that connection can make a huge difference in tonight's game.
Yeah, Santi, 19 of 34. I was looking up 131 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions on the year. He's also ran 18 times for 77 yards, but I'll be curious to see if we see Anthony Batanti. He was the star of week 1. All right. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, he did tell me that he only had a few touches last week against King, and then he said that he'd primarily be playing linebacker today.
Okay. Great linebacker, defensive captain. Antonio, who are we looking out for St. Mary's tonight?
You know, I know all these guys. As much as I want to say everybody, you know, the big guys, you know, Bryson Williams going to MSU. And he's committed there, but I know he wants that offer from Lincoln Riley and USC, so he's the one to show up a lot this season. He's been really good. He was good last year. He's good this year. He's an amazing receiver, great out the kick return. Trey Goyke, I mean, team captain, you know, model captain of a guy, great running back. He's a workhorse. And I mean, you know, Jaden Savory, De La Salle, I don't think they knew that he was coming out at tight end, but I mean, I talked to him. He loves to be a vertical threat. He loves to, you know, just come out there, and I don't think that De La Salle knew that he was going to be playing, so I think he's going to be a huge game changer.
All right, a couple of great players to look for from St. Mary's. One more, Javen Gonzalez, quarterback and, you know, dual threat quarterback, son of the head coach. His dad, Jermaine Gonzalez, was a really, really good quarterback here at St. Mary's. He went on to play at the University of Michigan, changing positions to wide receiver. But was one of my favorites when I was covering the Wolverines for thewolverine.com and rivals.com. So excited to see what Jabin Gonzalez can do tonight. Up in the booth tonight is Gavin Velesovic, Phil Hassad representing St. Mary's, Gavin's representing De La Salle, Chris Renwick is representing WJR. Again, you can listen on the WJR app. You can listen on the WJR Facebook page. If you are in Southeast Michigan, chances are you know the WJR's calls. Our number is 760 AM, so wherever you get your radio, you can listen to WJR. SportsCaster.com, SportsCaster Facebook page, and SportsCaster YouTube channel. We will come back at halftime. We'll talk about how this first half went. We will also look ahead to next week's game, which is Detroit King versus Detroit Cass Tech. And then we'll be back for the post game. But thank you very much. Enjoy the broadcast, and I will kick it up to Chris Renwick at WJR.
In medicine. This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. WJR AM and WDVD HD2, Detroit. From the heart of America and the high school home game gridiron, this is the Drive to the Game on 760 WJR. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, here's your hometown football host, Chris Renwick.
Welcome in. A beautiful night for our Drive to the Game coverage, coming to you live from St. Mary's, as we've got a couple of top 10 teams getting ready to do battle tonight on a very unique field here at St. Mary's Prep, a red field. Black end zones. It is a unique jewel here in high school football. And we've got a couple of friends in the booth with me. Gavin Vlasovich rejoins us from a few weeks ago. Gavin, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again, Chris.
Your De La Salle team is rolling a little bit, huh?
For sure, definitely. Second win of the season after week 2 against King.
They've been playing some really good football. Also joining us in the booth for the first time today, Phil Assad here at St. Mary's. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move that down just a little bit. There you go. Okay. It's good to have you here. There's a lot of talent on this team too, and we're gonna talk about it throughout the game today. But a lot of local connections certainly, as we got a couple of these guys getting ready to play some high school or some college football rather in East Lansing. But today, this is really about a couple of really good defenses, a couple of really stingy defenses, and then conversely, a couple of really good quarterbacks. We saw Sante Gasparini a couple of weeks ago, and just a really poised player, somebody who scans the field, could even go through a couple of different progressions. And then, of course, Mike Lopez in the backfield, Isaac Atine came up really big in that game, and then some weapons out wide for this De La Salle offense. Offensively for St. Mary's, Axel Newell, is a guy who has a lot of moxie, a lot of confidence, all being protected by a really good offensive line and anchored by Antonio Johnson on the right guard. This is a guy who has a lot of offers, somebody who is likely going to stay in state here, it sounds like, with Michigan State.
Yeah. Committed to Michigan State, got a lot of offers, and staying local.
Yeah, and he's a really good player. He plays right guard for this St. Mary's team. Defensively for these two, I mean, you're talking about a couple of really good players as well. Really good defensive lines up front. Really senior-laden on both sides of this one. So we're going to get ready to kick this one off. St. Mary's is going to kick it, and De La Salle will start things off on offense. St. Mary's in their white pants, red jerseys, and red helmets. Real good look for the Eaglets. And on the other side, all whites for the Pilots, who are 2-0. Both these teams undefeated, coming off of big wins last week. And again, two really good teams that have their eyes on postseason football come the end of this regular season. Little chip shot. We are underway. It's going to take a hop over the head and then fielded at about the 22-yard line. Nice job there by Phoenix Glasner, just staying with it. And made the play at the 21-yard line, and that's where this Pilots offense takes over.
Definitely this Pilots offense starting last week. In total, Gasparoni had 19 completions last year out of 34, 131 yards, threw for 1 touchdown. That'll be the first offensive touchdown of the game, with Zach Wagner his also first touchdown. Pilots were strong on defense, didn't have to do much, took over on offense later in the game.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here, early first quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. Gasparini checks with the sideline. He's got 3 receivers out left. We've got a snap and a flag here to start this one. Early on here, Pilots are going to move back on the false start, so it'll be 1st and 15 all the way back at the 16-yard line. A packed house here at St. Mary's. It's also, Phil, I can only assume Hawaiian shirt night here in the student section, just in front of us.
Oh yeah.
Where's the Hawaiian shirt?
Oh, no, I got lucky.
You got lucky.
I do not
You're in the
know why,
booth.
shit.
Here's a quick pass out to the flat on the far side. That one is hauled in and then taken far sideline. Cam Flowers pulls it down, picks up more than the penalty yards, brings up second down, and we'll call it 3 from the 28-yard line. They go right to the line. Motion man. Gasparoni takes the snap, gives far sideline. That Phoenix Glasner on the little sweep gives the Pilots enough for a first down.
Glasner, number 1 receiver for the Pilots, 62 yards in the last 2 games out of 9 catches. He's just a guy that can break down the sideline. D1 commit to Toledo for basketball, has the jazzy moves and can bounce it out down for a first down.
The Pilots trying to work the outside here. Couple of plays to the far sideline, ball far hash mark. Gasparoni in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. There goes Glasner in motion. Gasparoni, quick 3-step drop, throws over the middle. Got a man out across the 45 and then hauled down at the 50-yard line. That one, Cam Flowers once again hauling it in. He's getting involved early.
Flowers' second reception today. Pilots keep the up-tempo going. They'll look to go no huddle this whole game as they have so far this season.
Right back to the line. 3 receivers out to the right. They go 1 receiver at left, motion man right to left. He stops, comes back. Here's the give up the middle. Gatine pushes that pile forward. Nice job. Good gain of, we'll call it 6, out to the 44-yard line. And this St. Mary's defense just trying to keep these chunk plays in check.
Pilots definitely starting off with the pass for the first 4 plays. Then they're going to have to make St. Mary's respect the run, too. They've got the Gatine in the backfield and a solid offensive line.
Gasparoni takes, rolls to his right. The southpaw throws, unloads. And that one incomplete. So that brings up 3rd down here.
Flag down.
And that's a good stop there on 2nd down for this defense. We do have a flag near midfield. And they talk it over. So this will be a holding on the offense, so that'll send the Pilots back. They'll replay 2nd down. But this defense, again, a lot of really good players, a lot of guys that can make a lot of plays. And we talk a lot about the athletic ability of these guys, but a lot of these players play different sports too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Trey Gorky for one of them. I'm pretty sure he plays a little bit of defense as well. Also gets involved on the offense. Does track. A lot of this defense is really, really, really athletic. A lot of them are seniors and juniors as well. Been here for a few years. And yeah, they're finally getting their chance to shine.
Gasparoni takes that one, chucks one through the center, hauled in. Cam Flowers pulls it down. Not enough for a first down. We'll call it 3rd and 5 here coming up. Clock ticking, 10:35 to play here in the first. We're scoreless. Important 3rd down here for both teams early in this first. Gatine stays in the backfield. Gasparoni settles in. Calls for it. Gets it. Quick 3-step drop. Those tips incomplete.
Nearly intercepted as well.
Nearly intercepted is right. Charles White was there, but it falls to the turf. And it's you'd imagine a punting situation here for De La Salle, and that's exactly what they're going to do. That's a nice stand after a couple of plays here that De La Salle able to rattle off. They hold.
I think Gasparoni just couldn't get through the progression there. He had Gatine on the bubble toward the far sideline. He just wasn't looking left and got clogged up in the triple team in the middle.
That's a tough throw to make, kind of just feathering it over those linebackers. Ooh, that one nearly blocked. That's going to take a hop, a De La Salle hop, and then finally
down near the 15.
Down near about the 15-yard line, and that's where this St. Mary's offense comes out. Axel Newell is the quarterback. Everything runs through him, but there are a couple of dynamic playmakers on this offense, including Bryson Williams, who's a guy that gets a lot of attention.
Oh, yeah, Bryson. Bryson is one of the most talented players on this team, I'd say. This guy's a 3-star. He's ranked in the top 20 in the state. In my opinion, like, he has a chance to finish as a 4-star after this year Really, really good game last week. 2 insane catches in the end zone. Yeah, he's got a lot of talent, and he should be really, really, really dangerous today.
Here's Axel Newell for the first time. He's going to heave one down the sideline, looking for his receiver. He was looking for Drew Bohanna, but he was looking for Bryson Williams, but it falls incomplete. So the Michigan State commit tried the one-handed catch, but it falls incomplete, so it'll be second down.
I think we give credit to Isaiah Jones there. Equal push on both sides. Got a hand in, tipped it to the close sideline, knocked that away for an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Under 10 to play. Newell takes, gives, up the middle with a hole, and then finally ridden down. That's a good run there by Darren Jones Jr., who, again, you want to talk about a team that runs through somebody. Darren Jones does that. So clock ticks, 9:33 to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless. St. Mary's looking at a 3rd and 4 deep in their own zone. Ball at the 23-yard line. Newell settles into the shotgun, takes. Once again, giving, trying the right side, and that front just collapsed. Darren Jones, the ball carrier, but that front, there was just nothing there. You can credit Robbie Ermani coming down from his safety spot and just took the legs out from Jones.
I think we saw good pressure from Prisnell and Williams there. On the quick blitz from Robbie Armani, brought him down to bring him down about 3 extra yards into the backfield.
So that's a good stop here for this Pilots defense. That'll force a St. Mary's punt. That's a good one. It'll take a Pilots hop, though, and then pinball back and forth. It'll settle at about the 43-yard line. So, all in all, pretty good punt there. Nathan Braun, the punter for this St. Mary's Eaglets team, and it'll give another opportunity for this De La Salle offense to try to score some points here early in this one.
I think what they learned from the first drive is really the pass is working. Over the middle read, if it's not going to be there, check the progression, close and far sideline. That's what really worked against Davison and against King for the Pilots. They'll probably go back to it here with King, Flowers, and Glasner.
So motion man right to left.
Sweep
They're
again.
going to give it to him. That's just well covered there. Nice job. Damian King is the ball carrier. He'll only pick up about 3 out to the 45-yard line, maybe the 45 and a half. So second down, that's good defense on the outside there. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Gasparoni tries the hard count, now checks with the sideline. Under 8 to play, we're scoreless. De La Salle on offense. Gasparoni takes. Quick 3-step drop, getting pressured, and he's going to bail and take off. Far sideline. He'll be cut out of bounds just shy of the 50. That's a good job there by Reese Hurst. Just cutting off that angle, just didn't give Gasparoni anywhere to go with it, and it's third down.
I think in total, really, the wide receivers were getting pressed by the Eaglets defense, and pressure was coming on the inside of the offensive line. Gasparoni had a good read out to the left sideline, and he takes it to get 3rd and 3.
Gasparoni takes. Here's a design quarterback keeper. Just plows forward. Boy, it looks like he is maybe just a hair short. Maybe a yard short. And it's 4th down, and Dan Roan says we're going to punt this thing away.
I think the Pilots really are just concerned about their outside contain on defense, and they're not willing to give up a 4th down possession where the Eaglets end up at midfield.
Jackson Turr on a put a foot on this one.
Credit to Jackson Turr. He stepped up from freshman to varsity teams last year, and now he's the sophomore kicker for the Pilots.
Kareem Pruitt back deep, but it's going to take a hop at about the 20-yard line and then settle down at the 15. So a little bit of field possession back and forth here.
Yeah, 3 punts in a row. Yeah, nothing really happening on offense. All defense so far. De La Salle's been playing really good on defense. Same thing with Orchard Lake St. Mary's. I really like how our corners are playing too, especially on that last drive. Christopher Coates had good pressure on Damian King. Good coverage, sorry. And yeah, that was a good drive by the Orchard Lake defense.
Phil, take me inside what it's like in the school this week, gearing up for this game. St. Mary's has lost 4 of these in a row. They want this one bad. What is it like gearing up as a student for a game this week?
You know, any Catholic League game is really hype at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. You know, whether it's CC or Brother Rice or De La Salle, like it doesn't matter. It's always really cool to be there. Everybody's like hyped for the game, especially this year. We started off 2-0. So yeah, we're feeling pretty confident going into this game, and yeah, hopefully we pull off the win. Right.
Here's a quarterback keeper. They gain a 1, bring up 2nd down and long. Good to have Gavin Velasevic back with us from De La Salle. Phil Assad joins us today from St. Mary's. Good to have these guys in the booth with me tonight. Just an absolutely beautiful one here from St. Mary's Prep. 6:20 to play here in the first. We're scoreless. Jabin Gonzalez, the quarterback. Here's a quick toss. That one is hauled in, brought down by Lorenzo Barber just at about the 22-yard line. And this is a guy, once again, that for St. Mary's at quarterback, they really rely on.
Oh, yeah. He played a few games of varsity last year as a freshman, which is crazy. He's a really talented guy. And right now, we don't really have like a solidified number 1 QB. We switch him off depending on the play. We either put in Jabin or we put in Axel.
Jermaine Gonzalez is the head coach. Jabin is Jermaine Gonzalez's son. Here's a design quarterback run. He's going to find the outside. Explosive speed as he breaks forward out to the 30-yard line. Ball's out. De La Salle came up with it, but there's no indication. No, they're going to say it is St. Mary's ball, so it'll be 1st down. That is a good run by Gonzalez. Tried the inside, didn't see what he wanted, and then popped it out to his right for a big gain.
I think what we saw there was really Drogosh kind of got pushed to the inside. He couldn't keep his outside contained. And when you have Newell just running it up the gut, it's really going to be a difficult time for the Pilots to converge for a tackle.
So Gonzalez stays in at quarterback. He's got 2 receivers out right, 2 left. Ball far hash mark. He's going to throw sets. Ooh, a dangerous path. He was looking for Chad Willis, but really nice job covering on that play. Sebastian Rouse from his cornerback spot saw it and closed quickly. Ball falls incomplete, 2nd down.
I think Drogosh got a tip on that. He was blitzing from the outside edge. He moved in, got his vertical up about a few feet up, tipped it down, and Rouse may have used his leg just a little bit much and kicked it out of there.
So they're having an issue here. Play clock still at 25. Clock stops on the incompletion at 5:13. And the ball spotted at the 33-yard line. So it looks like a sideline infraction there on De La Salle, so they'll get the warning. A little bit of confusion there defensively for the Pilots. Gonzalez tried to keep it, but there was nothing there. That is a heck of a play.
Yeah, that's what you'll see with when they put in Jabin. Usually they're running it. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of Michigan's quarterback system with Davis Warren, Alex Orji. You know, sometimes they put in Alex Orji, especially when they're running the ball. Both really athletic guys. Kind of reminds me the same way with Jabin.
So they'll make a couple subs here offensively. It's 3rd down and 10. No gain on the play. Clock continues to run. Under 5. We're scoreless here at St. Mary's. Jabin Gonzalez remains in at quarterback. Calls for it, gets it. Quick drop. Resets, and then ball's out. That one's picked up by the Pilots, coming back the other way. Does he have the angle? He does. Touchdown, Dalton Drogosh.
Scoop and score for the Pilots. That almost looked like Drogosh's 8 tackle for loss, but He picks it up on a punch out from him, picks it up, takes it himself. No blocks needed. Touchdown, Pilots.
That is a quick turn of events here, something that we saw just a few weeks ago out at Wayne State against Davison. Able to just make something happen. Good teams are able to find ways, and this defense just did it right there.
Defensively, of course, last time on the drive to the game with the Pilots, the defense really carried through the first quarter, held Davison to 3 points. It's kind of what we're seeing here today after the offense scored 0 in the first and second quarter.
So Jackson Turr puts it up through the uprights. And it is now 7-0 on that defensive touchdown by Dalton Drogosh. Credit Robbie Ermani on the punch out from Jabin Gonzalez. That one gets popped out, and of course, Drogosh finished it off.
Drogosh, the new possible Colgate commit. The other Colgate commit on this team so far, number 71, Jacob Hoffman at left tackle. He just received that offer 2 days ago now, and he'll look to kind of look over his options. He's seen talks from Indiana, Ferris State, West Michigan, Bowling Green. All the schools you can think of as basic offers, that's where he's really having selections from.
So, Phil, let me ask you this. Gonzalez just fumbled it there. Again, heads-up play by Ermani, but now we've seen both Axel Newell and Jabin Gonzalez. Who do you want to see come out here in this next drive?
I'm not going to lie. Both are really good, but I feel like our running game was working really well, especially those few plays with Jabin. But, like, there was that stuff and there was that fumble. I feel like maybe we should shift a little bit more towards the passing game, target Bryson Williams a little bit. And then, yeah, that would be pretty good.
And again, I think you probably don't necessarily, as the kickoff takes a hop out of bounds, so that'll draw the flag. But something that you probably don't want to do, and particularly with a guy that has as much skill, and just a sophomore as James Gonzalez does, you don't want it to be a penalty, right? Oh, you fumble the football and now we take you out of the game. I don't know that it's looked at like that, but you want to keep those guys, those players, really running peak from a mental position.
Oh, yeah, and if he isn't as talented as he is, he wouldn't be on varsity playing quarterback right now. Mistakes happen, and that's what happened right there, but it's all right. He'll recover, I'm sure.
So now this St. Mary's offense back out, and they want to right a wrong there. So actually, we're going to re-kick this. So St. Mary's, instead of enforcing the penalty on the kick out of bounds, they'll re-kick it, this time at the 35-yard line. So Jackson Turr's got it up on his tee. And here's the run-up. Puts a foot on it. Low line drive kick. It's going to take a wild bounce, and then nice job hauling that one in with a lane, near side, brought back across the 50-yard line. Reese Hurst. That one took a weird hop, and he able to just snag it with one hand and pull it in and take it back for a nice gain, this time all the way to the De La Salle 48. That should give this offense a little juice.
Oh, yeah, that was a really, really good play by Reese Hurst. He's a junior. He is really talented. I saw last week at the game against St. John's Jesuit. Really, really, really talented guy, and he just proved it right there.
I cannot say that return was not foreshadowed in the JV game. Almost the same identical play happened up the left sideline, and I think it's just a problem with the De La Salle special teams.
Axel Newell back in at quarterback. This one thrown, caught far side. Nice job there. Bryson Williams hauls it in. Just shy of the 40-yard line, call it the 42. Newell took a three-step drop, flipped his shoulders, and then found his big play receiver, Bryson Williams, far side. Gain of 6 on the play, brings up 2nd and 4. Trey Goyke in the backfield. Newell sends a man in motion, takes, gives on the sweep. Got his man far side. Wow, what a play. Coming out hot, Dalton Drogosh makes the tackle. Bryson Williams on the sweeper. He'll lose, we'll call it a yard back to the 43. So 3rd and 5 coming up here for the St. Mary's offense.
So I think actually we might end up with 2nd and 14. Looked like the
We do have a flag on the play.
Threw the holding out against the Eaglets.
Yep, there is the call. That's the hold against St. Mary's. And that's the risk you run on those plays. When you've got a speedster coming around the edge, especially near the line of scrimmage or just behind the line of scrimmage, you run the risk of holding on the outside, and that's what we saw here from the Eaglets. So move them back. It'll remain 2nd down. We'll spot it at the St. Mary's 48. Newell to the shotgun. Takes. Gives. Up the middle with a hole. Out to the 45-yard line.
Trey Goyke.
Trey Goyke on the carry.
Really good play by Trey. Trey, I've known him since I was a freshman. Really, really cool guy. And, yeah, he deserves to be here, and he's making the most of it right now.
Again, this is a kind of this back system that they really like here. Jermaine Gonzalez does. Darren Jones and Trey Goyke, a couple of guys that they can rotate in and feel really good about. So big 3rd down here. 3rd and 6. Here's a pass out to the flat and then sniffed out immediately. Chad Willis hauled it in, but nice job there closing quickly. Sebastian Rouse called his name a couple of times today. Get to the 40-yard line. That's it. It's 4th down.
I think what we see Rouse here, that's his 2nd tackle, or correction, 3rd tackle so far this season. He's been a big step up.
2nd of the night.
Yeah. So now that'll be his 4th. Big transfer from Grosse Pointe.
Axel Newell barking out some directions here to his offensive line. It's 4th down and 3. Newell takes, wants to go deep. Got a man adjusting to the ball, and it's hauled in. Bryson Williams. Boy, oh boy, you see what Michigan State likes in him. That is a big gain and a big-time throw by Axel Newell.
I think we saw a blitz off the edge, and Pilots just gave up a lot of pass coverage quick. They blitzed Armani and Bohanna at the same time. They lost 2 guys that could have been downfield.
Isaiah Jones was in coverage, but I think you got to tip your cap to Axel Newell there. Just threw a little bit of a back shoulder fade, and certainly credit Bryson Williams adjusting to that ball nicely. Here's a give. Goyke shedding 1 tackler inside the 10-yard line.
Trey's getting a lot of action on this drive, and I like it because he's doing really, really good with the snaps that he's getting.
Boy, that's a big push there up front. Little bit of wiggle by Goyke, Phil. You're right. It just able to sneak in. Not the biggest guy, and kind of able to just blend in behind that offensive line. So they'll spot this one at about the 9.5-yard line, 2nd down and 2.
I'm very surprised that the Eaglets have not gone into the Wildcat formation yet that we've seen so far in the red zone.
Newell takes, throws, crossbody, got a man inside the 5-yard line. That's a good catch there. Lorenzo Barber hauls it in. Sebastian Rouse on the takedown again. He is all over the field tonight.
Definitely, Rouse has been pretty much in every single play so far. He's taken a step up, as we haven't called the notorious names Batani or Burgess as much, honestly. We've seen the step up from the corners tonight, Jones and Rouse combined.
But, Phil, I mean, you look at these. There has been, to me, a purposeful effort to spread this ball around. Chad Willis, Bryson Williams, now Lorenzo Barber getting in the mix.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes. If you keep on throwing towards the same guy, you're going to double him, do everything they can to make sure that he doesn't get the ball. So, yeah, I really like the fluidity of this offense, this drive, giving it to Trey. Now,
1st and goal, Newell takes it. He's going to lose a yard back to the 6-yard line. 25 seconds left. De La Salle up 7-0, but the Eaglets are knocking on the door. And that will likely be the last play of the first quarter. So just like that, after a punch out and a return for a touchdown, St. Mary's in the mix here to get into the end zone. We'll take a break. You're listening to Drive to the Game coverage right here on WJR.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class
This is
families, like the one I
SportsCaster.com.
grew up in.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true.
Who was like one of your favorite players growing up?
Growing up, my favorite player was Devin Hester from the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Are you able to give us a little hint on what your draft day fit will end up being tomorrow?
Money green.
What's the coolest part about being invited to the NFL draft?
You're realizing you're a step closer to your ultimate dream. The media is there to be a microphone for us.
Yeah.
You can see all the great things that are happening here in Detroit.
It's in the fourth quarter against Notre Dame. They're going to throw it to you in the back of the end zone.
4th and 1, one of the greatest catches in Michigan history. My man.
Wow.
This is SportsCaster.com.
Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today. Think Ford first. You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
So here's Axel Newell throws into the turf. Wanted Trey Goyke, but he threw it a little low and outside, so that'll bring up 3rd down. Boy, it feels like you don't want to waste this drive here, and they've done a really good job of stringing a couple of first downs together. And Newell here trying to get this offense into the end zone. 3rd down and goal. Ball at the 5-yard line. Axel Newell takes, looks, throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Eaglets. Jaden Savory hauls it in. Another Michigan State commit. And just like that, a nice drive caps off in 6.
Crazy catch. Jaden Savory, I'm pretty sure he mainly plays basketball, too. He's really talented at both sports. He was on our varsity team last year with the state championship. Really, really talented guy. And he's doing amazing in football as well.
Well, you can see that vertical. You can see those basketball skills. He climbed the ladder. And, you know, credit Axel Newell, too. On the run, a little bit of a rollout to his right, and is able to just feather one in really, really nicely.
Jaden Savory's warm-up music is gospel music. So,
is it really? That's what gets him up, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. It's different for all those guys, but we got a late flag here after the extra point attempt was up and through. I mean, you're talking about a guy in Jaden Savory, 6'5", right? Lengthy, tall, got a huge range. It's something, obviously, that Jonathan Smith at Michigan State really likes, and I think that's exactly why. You get those big play abilities all over the field, but once you get down into that red zone, once you get down by the goal line, that height, that length becomes really, really important.
Oh, yeah. You could see his basketball ability perfectly on that catch right there. Just towering over that guy.
So early second quarter action in St. Mary's pays it off. Phil, let me ask you something, because you want to go to Michigan next year.
Hope so.
What do you want to do?
Well, my dream's to become a doctor, so I'd want to major in human biology.
All right. Well, that's good. Nick, if we have any problems tonight, Phil's got us. That's good. And you're kind of a recent football fan.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you played soccer your whole life. Mm-hmm. Did you ever do the scorpion, by the way?
Never.
Never. Did you try, though?
I've tried it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Every soccer player has tried it. And so you played soccer your whole life, grew up playing soccer, but it wasn't until 2021 where you actually caught this football bug.
No, yeah. My friend JoJo, he's a huge Michigan fan. He told me to put on the Michigan-Ohio State game. The first time we beat them in 2021. So he was telling me we were favored to lose, but still to put out the game anyways. And yeah, I put on the game. Snowy. Dude, it was amazing. And, like, that was my first ever football game I ever watched. And just watching Hassan Haskins, how many touchdowns?
5 touchdowns, I
Five
think?
touchdowns.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns.
Crazy great. Like, that ignited my love for football and Michigan football as well.
That's great. That's great. So we got this one teed up. St. Mary's pays it off, all tied up at 7. And we've got whistles.
Delay game, it looks like. I saw the far judge. He was counting down the seconds. He got five hand ticks out, and that'll be a delay game. Sends them back to the 20-yard line. Or correction, I'll send them up. Send them back, correct?
Send them
back
to
the 20. Yeah,
yep.
okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what exactly happened there, but it looked like we had a little bit of difficulty trying to figure out where exactly what was going on. So I don't know when the play clock started, but play clock expires, so delay game, it'll move them back. So we got a Hawaiian shirt night on the St. Mary's side of things. Is that the Bro Zone over on the far side?
That's correct.
Gavin, all right, we got the Bro Zone.
Revival of the Bro Zone.
What do you mean revival? Where did it go?
So last year we had some difficulties with the Bro Zone attendance. We now have an away crowd. This is their second game of the night. They came from the varsity soccer game against Brother Rice.
Oh, very good. All right, this one's short. This one's fielded, and we got a lateral. Picked up and then taken down. Good job there. Phoenix Glasser is the one who ended up with it.
Phoenix Glasser, he's been the returner since their sophomore year. With Damian King, they've been the duo so far as the return team, taking it out to the 48-yard line.
So trying a little bit of a trinket play here, and this will set De La Salle up really nicely at their own 45-yard line. Lights are on. Beautiful night here for high school football. Early second quarter action. All tied up at 7. 2 top 10 teams in the state. Snap, throw over the middle. Got him. Phoenix Glasser hauled it in again. Really nice job. Santa Gasparini just sat in that pocket, comfortable, knew he had some time. Phoenix Glasser, a little post inside, and he paid it off. Good throw, first down.
Definitely. Gasparoni had a way better read that time. Pilots stay in quick, hurry-up offense. They'll look to get another playoff in the next 10 seconds.
Ball at the 42-yard line. Gasparoni calls for it, gets it, fakes it, rolling to his right. Got to flip those shoulders. The southpaw throws down the field. Got a man inside the 10-yard line. Mike Lopez hauling it in from his running back spot. Little wheel route to the far side. And now De La Salle in business. It'll be first and goal.
Pilots staying in the hurry-up offense. Not a usual play we see there from Lopez. Bubble screen. Why? Go for the fade. Gasparoni rolls out to his right, rolls downfield. They'll probably keep Lopez and we have Katine on the field
comes
now.
in the game at running back. That is just such an amazing throw by Gasparoni. Rolling to his right, the southpaw. He lines up under center. They try the Philly push. Did he get in? It looked like he got in. Yes, he did. Touchdown, Pilots.
They got to ban that.
Definitely Pilots, not the usual Bobcat lineup as Coach Dan Roan refers to it, his 5th season with the Pilots. Usually we see Anthony Battani. He had all 3 touchdowns last time we were on the drive to the game. And Gasparoni keeps it, takes it, gets the push from Gatine and Wagner. They get the drive. Touchdown, Pilots.
Jackson Turr on for the extra point attempt. So that is a good answer here from this De La Salle offense. Boy, I'll tell you what, that one goes up through the upright. So 14-7 De La Salle. St. Mary's coming dangerously close a couple of times here to blocking either a field goal or a punt. There's been a couple of very, very close calls here.
Yeah, Christopher Coates almost got to that one.
And Jermaine Gonzalez wants he's got some issue with the referees. He's not going to get much of their attention.
I think what we see there is just the sophomore Jackson Turr, number 29. He took a little bit too much patience. Took a little bit too long on the kick. Kind of took it and got it through the upright still. So 14-7 Pilots.
11-10 to play here in this one. And Gavin, last time we talked, of course, you're the starting left tackle for the JV team. You know, you look at the protection that Gasparoni had in that drive. What goes into that type of protection, and how is it different maybe from a run blocking perspective?
I think pilots really were working on technique. They had a problem in their film review. They looked over pass protection is really struggling. They struggled against King. The offensive line went down in their grade percentage about 10%. And I think we saw Hoffman take a step up there, have a nice solid grab, the Colgate commit.
Boy, that is a heck of a kick. Fielded at the 2-yard line, coming back the other way with a hole and space. Just a kicker to beat. Nobody's going to catch him. Reese Hurst to the house. Oh, my goodness. 99 yards on the return. Back-to-back-to-back strikes. And just like that, we're an extra point attempt away from tying this thing up.
Yeah, on that last punt return, too, after De La Salle scored their first touchdown. Research almost took that to the house, too. He got tackled on the 40, 50-yard line. Yeah, that guy's really talented at returning kicks.
He's really good, but special teams-wise, blocking up front, everybody had it all blocked up. He made a good cut here at about the 20-yard line, and then at that point, it was nobody to beat, and he took it all the way 99 yards for pay dirt, and now one extra point attempt away from tying this thing up at 14. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it's good. So under 11 to play, all tied up at 14. Two top 10 teams under the lights. Friday nights here in our drive to the game coverage. Also want to give a shout out to our partners, our friends at Deet Sports and Entertainment. You know, there are so many great games in the state of Michigan. Friday nights, Thursday nights, Saturdays. It can be really difficult trying to figure out a slate of games to pick. So we appreciate our partners over at Deet Sports and Entertainment. They have their finger on the pulse of high school football, certainly, and we are happy to be here at St. Mary's. Gavin Vlasevic and Phyllis Odd from De La Salle and St. Mary's, respectively. Gavin, so you got a couple more years here as well. You're just a sophomore. You told me that maybe broadcasting. By the way, you've got a future. You're very good. This is wonderful. But aviation too.
Yeah,
that's a focus for you.
Pretty big interest. No irony with the pilots. Wasn't intended.
It feels a little intended. It feels a little on the nose.
Just a slight mishap, but either way, yeah, it's one of my interests. Might be interested in something with engineering there. Hopefully. Maybe if broadcasting doesn't work out, maybe it's something I go into.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe you can explain to me turbulence. I got to tell you, I hate flying. I hate it. It scares me to death. So I'm glad I got a future pilot here on the broadcast as well. All right, here's the run-up and the kick. Fading towards the sideline, and out comes the flag. So that one goes out of bounds. Boy, just a couple of really good drives, really good special teams, really good defense, all on display tonight. These are two very good teams. Lots of future college talent, right? You're going to eventually hear some of these names on WJR, on our Michigan State coverage in the coming years. But boy, oh boy, the talent only takes you so far, right? Phil, you can speak to this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even in soccer, in any sport. If you've got the talent, that's one thing, but you got to have the coaching. You got to have players that are willing to accept that coaching. And I think from both of these perspectives, we're seeing a lot of that. Really good coaching on both sides.
Really, really good coaches. Especially, like, from what I know on the Orchard Lake St. Mary's side, all the coaches are really good people, and you could tell that these players love their coaches and they listen to anything they say.
Santi Gasparoni back out. Here's a keeper up the middle. Boy, a guy who can finesse a ball, a guy who can rocket the ball, not afraid of contact either, Gavin.
Definitely. Gasparoni, second year in, he is not afraid of contact by any means. Of course, if he doesn't have to take it, he's not going to take it. But for contact, for the most part, we see Gasparoni take it up the middle a lot on lead, and we'll see him take it some more tonight.
You know, he doesn't run a ton. at least this year. But again, he's got the ability, right? He's got that speed, that second gear speed that not all quarterbacks have, but he certainly has it. Here's the motion man. Glasner takes, weaves his way, tries the right side, cuts it back up into the middle. Phoenix Glasner pulling it in for 6 and enough for a first down.
Glasner again taking that pass over the middle, takes another step up for the Pilots as we look to have an injury.
Yeah, we've got a pilot down at about the 45-yard line, so the staff will come out and check on him. But so far, I think in this game, again, we've got 10 minutes left here in the first half. Things change, right? This is a chess match. These coaches are pushing different buttons to see what works, what doesn't, and we've seen a little bit of everything tonight, right? You've got the plays on special teams, you've got the defense, you've got the offense, big plays all over the field, and it again for me, it shows you two teams that are very much in contention for a state championship. Both of these teams have that kind of pedigree. Both of them certainly have the talent to get it done. And in the Catholic League, I mean, boy, there is just so much talent, top to bottom, in this league.
Oh, yeah. CC, insanely talented. Brother Rice, I mean, they've lost a few times to us over the last few years, but they're still pretty good. St. Mary's, obviously, really good. De La Salle, the Catholic League is stacked in football, to say the least.
Ryan Hale was the injured player, the starting left guard.
Pilots did develop a plan for that this week. There was concerns about Hale's abilities on the offensive line. They did have a backup plan with Blake Matlock. He did play 2 quarters in that JV game yesterday. He is only eligible for 3.
Gasparoni takes, getting pressured, gonna get sacked. Taken down inside his own 40. Ball is out. Looks like Gasparoni is able to hop back on top of it. That avoids disaster. So that'll move them back inside their own 40 at the 39-yard line. So second down and long coming up. The line to gain is the 43-yard line of St. Mary's.
I think we saw equal pressure there on both Williams and Hoffman there, and that just brought Gasparoni down.
Wagner goes in motion. Gasparoni rolling, running out of real estate, throws incomplete. Flag on the play. That time, Gasparoni rolling to his left. A little bit easier to make that play, but he was under duress.
Definitely looks like we might get a holding penalty here on the Pilots. Possibly Hoffman or Wagner. Both rolling out to their left, could not stay on the block long enough.
Jacob Hoffman, the left tackle there. So they're trying to relay this to Jermaine Gonzalez as well. You know, you're looking at 2nd and 17 here. We've seen the big play ability here from the Pilots. I wonder if Gonzalez is considering declining the penalty. He is. That's exactly what he's going to do. So he'll decline that penalty. So it's 3rd down now and 17. That's one of those, toss-ups that a lot of coaches either will accept or deny, and then this time Jermaine Gonzalez declines that one. So it's 3rd and 17. Again, the Pilots need the 43. Gasparoni takes, quick 3-step drop, throws. That one's caught near midfield, but taken down immediately. That is good coverage there. Charles White making the stop. So that brings up 4th down.
Jackson Tur does have good field goal range, but I don't think we'll see. Don't think we'll see the 63-yard.
I'd love a 70-yard field goal tonight. I mean, we've seen everything else at this point.
Honestly, name a football play you've seen it already tonight for either the Eaglets or the Pilots. Definitely a diverse offense and defense for both the Pilots and the Eaglets.
So here's the punt. A little bit of a low snap. Hits the turf. Oh, man, nearly blocked again.
It's like the 3rd time today.
Very close. Boy, that is just dying at the 1-yard line. Woo! That is a heck of a punt. Bryson Williams was back to receive it, but
Looks like Jackson Tur had the punt, and Luke Jablonski and Toko brought it down at the 1-yard line for the Pilots.
So that was a really good punt. The timing was almost thrown off because it was a low snap. Tur had to field it actually on the turf near his feet and get it off. Just barely got it away before that block team was hurtling in, and then it just absolutely died at the 1-yard line. That is a heck of a punt, and now some trouble here for St. Mary's as the Pilots are breathing down their neck. Here's a Philly special push. Keeping it. Axel Newell gives himself a little bit of space out to the 3-yard line, gain of 2, second down.
We saw Williams, Presnell, Burgess, and Tur all collapse on that A gap where Newell was trying to run it. They'll bring him down just around the 4-yard line, only a 3-yard gain for the Eaglets of St. Mary's.
So they'll spot it at the 4, 2nd and 7. Same formation. This time they give to one of the backs out to the 6-yard line. Gain of 2. Just picking up those gritty yards. Bryson Williams, Mr. Do-It-All for this Eaglets offense. Able to pick up a couple. And now it's 3rd and 5. St. Mary's needs the 11. Ball at the 6. Clock continues to run. 7:50 to play here in the first half. All tied up at 14. Now to the shotgun. Newell takes. Throws far side. Got a man. Out across the 15 and then hauled down at the 19-yard line. Lorenzo Barber hauled it in. Sebastian Rouse threw him down.
I think we saw Rouse get a little bit too excited in that first quarter. Eaglets are now targeting him to make sure he's not too much on a high horse, make sure he stays humble at corner position.
So clock continues to run. Under 7:30. Fresh set of downs here for the Eaglets. Ball at the 19-yard line. Two receivers to the right. Ball far hash mark. 1 left. Newell takes. Rolls. Getting pressure and then just spikes that one into the dirt. Got it past the line of scrimmage. Was out of the tackle box. This Pilots defense wanting a grounding call, but doesn't look like they're going to get one.
Seems like the referee throughout the marking bag he had in his waistband didn't throw the yellow flag though.
So 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 19. Darren Jones in the backfield. Ball far hash mark. Eaglets moving left to right. Newell sends his man in motion. Takes. Here's the give up the middle with a hole out across the 20 to the 25-yard line and then taken down at the 27. Darren Jones on the carry. That's good for 9 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Both running backs have been really good tonight, Darren Jones and Trey Goike. Darren Jones got a few offers from Northwood, Wayne State. This guy's super talented, and he's got a lot of potential.
So Jones will stay in the game at running back. Big 3rd down here. They're going to call it 3rd and 2. So ball at the 27. They need the 29. Newell steps back, throws incomplete. Good coverage by Sebastian Rouse once again. This time, Chad Willis, the intended target, and St. Mary's going to have to punt it away. Good defensive stop there for the Pilots.
Big stop coming up from Rouse there. He got humbled on that one 1st down. He'll take a step back, knocks it away, and it'll be 4th and 2 for the Eaglets.
So here's Nathan Barron to put a foot on it. Near the 6-minute mark here of the second quarter. That's a good snap. A good punt to end over end. It's going to take a big St. Mary's hop inside the 30. And then down inside the 25-yard line. Way to flip that field. Again, answering the Jackson Turr punt, right? Flipping the field one way, and now St. Mary's flipping it back. That's a good punt.
Yeah, Nate's a really good punter. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's got a really good history with punters. Tommy Doman at the University of Michigan, one of the best punters in the country.
But you're not biased or anything.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, not at all. Under 6. All tied up at 14. 2 top 10 teams under the lights here at St. Mary's. Chris Renwick, good to have you. Gavin Vlesevic from De La Salle, our sophomore analyst. Good to have Gavin back with us after his week 1 appearance. And Phil Assad, the senior out of St. Mary's, joining us in the booth today. It's good to have Phil here. All right, 1st and 10. Here's a give around the edge. Picking up positive yards to about the 28-yard line. So gain of 3, getting a little physical out there.
Surprised you didn't throw a flag right there either.
There's 2 proud programs, lots of history. And after losing 4 consecutively, St. Mary's wants this one.
I think what we saw last year, the 21-0 win for the Pilots at Wayne State University, we see the flip of the home away this year. Now a way closer matchup than they are. Eaglets have really capped out on their talent this year.
2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. Gasparoni takes. Here's a keeper up the middle. Isaac Katine, the lead blocker from his running back spot. And we've got Laundry at the 35. So he got out to about the 31. Sounds like this one might be coming back. Oh, no, check that. It's going to be a face mask on St. Mary's. So that'll give the Pilots a fresh set of downs and some yards. They'll spot it at the 36. So 1st and 10 from there for Santa Gasparini in this offense.
When I saw Gatine on the ground, I was like, that's very uncommon. Now I see how he ended up on the ground. 15 yards positive for the Pilots.
Gasparoni from the shotgun. Going to keep it on the option again. Find some space on the left side and pushed out near midfield. That is an option play. So he had Mike Lopez running left to right, had the ball right in Lopez's breadbasket, but pulled it at the last second and came out for positive yards out to the left and a first down.
I think Gasparoni, one thing he has is it's a developmental flow of how he reads the ball, reads passes and runs. It seems like it works, kind of coincides with each other. In the first quarter, his reads aren't the best. Then second quarter, he gets it. He's looking more professional out there. He looks calm, controlled.
But in those situations, speaking of a left tackle, he's watching that defensive end, right?
For sure.
Gasparoni trying for Mike Lopez as he just tried a little curl route out on the far side, but it falls incomplete. I'm not sure Mike Lopez was expecting that when he tapped his chest. That's my bad, QB.
We saw Lopez give up some early in that Davison game 2 weeks ago. Lopez recovered in that second half. Looks to do the same here.
Defensively, I mean, this St. Mary's defense, a little bit of a bend but don't break, it feels like, here in this first half. They've done a really, really good job giving them away some chunk yards, obviously the long pass that led to the touchdown, but defensively staying pretty tight here. Gasparoni pumps, didn't like what he saw downfield, little shake and bake at the 48, crosses the 45-yard line and lowers the shoulder. Oh, my goodness, Gasparoni. Tell him something.
Gasparoni not afraid to get hit around here. Catholic League matchup means a lot to him. Even if it means an untied shoe and he goes down for 5 seconds, he's willing to go for it.
Chris Coates came in and lowered the boom. So he'll squeak out of bounds. 4:25 here to play in the first half. All tied up at 14. Was that an accidental flag? I'm going to say it was.
I'm going to say it slipped out of the belt. Belt wasn't tight enough.
Yeah. Under 5, Gasparoni takes, design quarterback keeper. Keeping those legs churning. Inside the 40 to the 38 and the first down.
And he does not go down.
Gasparoni, physical again. Good inside push from Thomas, Williams, Birch, all of the above. Even Matlock got a good push on that one.
And again, Gattine's coming down from that running back spot just kind of as an extra blocker. And they're able to make that an effective part of this offensive plan here, this drive. Under 4, tied up at 14. De La Salle wants more. They're inside the St. Mary's 40. Once again, Gasparoni. Big dash up front to the 30-yard line. Gain of 8.
The inside part of the O-line got such a good push. Thomas just broke off the double team. He was looking for work. He was already at the 3rd level. Great push from the Pilots there. Puts them 2nd and 2.
Blake Matlock is in at left guard. Ryan Hale got injured earlier. I don't think he's been back in since. Again, good pushing inside that the guards there. Guards left, right, and the center doing a nice job. So a timeout here from St. Mary's. They want to talk this over. 2nd down and 2. And again, they are just pushing this thing up the middle. And Jermaine Gonzalez says, we got to take a breather and figure this out.
I think what we saw so far in practice this week when Pilots were working on technique, Blake Matlock, if Derek Williams and Jacob Hoffman were not there, he would be the starting left or right tackle 100%. He is big, physical. He is not afraid to put somebody on the ground. And I think what we see here is a great step up from him, playing junior varsity for 2 quarters. If this game goes into overtime, do note that he cannot play from MHSAA eligibility rules.
You're listening to our Drive to the Game coverage, here on 760 WJR Detroit. 2 top 10 teams slugging it out. De La Salle, St. Mary's, all tied up at 14. 3:17 to play here in the first half. Gasparoni to the shotgun. Takes. This time giving it to Gatine. Running right with space. And then lowering the shoulder at the 20.
Gatine, another physical running back that the Pilots have. Lopez and him are not afraid to go down, lower that shoulder, get an extra 3, 4, 5 yards. Down and distance is what the Pilots are all about. We see an Eaglets injury on the far sideline.
Reese Hurst, the starting corner for the St. Mary's team, he took the brunt of that Isaac Gatine run, and he is still down at the 15. So the staff will come out, and Jermaine Gonzalez comes out to check on him.
Seems like the players are taking a knee. This might be more than just a quick hop off the sideline.
This is the same guy who took that one 99 yards on the opening, or on the kickoff for a touchdown. And he's been down for a couple of minutes here ever since that play ended.
This could be a big loss.
A little bit of movement here. It's good to see. Up on his feet. A little gimpy. He's trying it out. That's good stuff. Maybe testing out that left leg, but this is a guy they absolutely need. Defensively, special teams, he has been a massive player tonight.
No do harm to the Eaglets, but I do think that the Pilots will be hitting the pass game more out to the outside receivers of Flowers with the loss of Hurst for a few plays. They'll try and take advantage of that.
Well, and again, what have we seen the last several plays? Running it up the middle, quarterback keeper up the middle. Jermaine Gonzalez calls a timeout, talk about it, and what does Dan Roan do? They run it to the outside.
Pilots make the Eaglets both respect the run and the pass game so far.
2 receivers out to the left. Gatine gets the ball with a hole out to the 15-yard line. It's going to be stopped short of the first down marker at the 13. Second down, right to the line of scrimmage. Giving it to Gatine again, but we got flags.
Seems like we're going to have 12 men on the field. I don't think number 23 for the Eaglets, Gage Nesson, was off the field in time.
And that's exactly what they're talking about. Yep, too many men, so that'll move them closer. Get that free first down inside the 10-yard line. They'll spot it at the 9, so it'll be first and goal for De La Salle, who wants to punch this one in before the half ends. 2:51 to play in the first half. All tied up at 14.
I would not be surprised here if we see Gasparoni take one play. Coach Janrone calls a timeout, and they head straight to the Bobcat offense, which saw Batani score 3 touchdowns last time we were on the drive to the game.
Wagner goes in motion inside. This is a keeper. Gasparoni bottled up. He'll lose a yard back at the 11. I don't know that everybody was exactly on the same page there. Looked like a little bit of confusion between he and Gatine. Otherwise, nice job defensively. Crashing down on that far left side. It's second down and goal from the 11. 2 receivers left. That's the wide side of the field. Ball far hash mark. Gatine checks with the sideline. Clock continues to run under 2 minutes. Gasparoni takes, fakes to Gatine, got his tight end on the outside, inside the 5-yard line, taken down. Brandon Adams Jr. hauled him, Zach Wagner down, but we got a flag.
I think Glasner may have held the shoulder pad too long. We might have holding going against the Pilots, or we see a face. Oh, looks like the referee gives a signal for the face mask. The other officials, that might be half the distance.
They're trying to figure out where the play ended. The ball would have been at the 5-yard line. So it'll be offensive pass interference here on De La Salle. So that'll move them back from the 5-yard line all the way to the 15, 10-yard penalty. So it's still second down and goal, this time from the 15. Well, that's got to feel good, Phil, here for this defense.
Oh, yeah. No, we're playing really good. Kyrie Williams on that D-line, getting in Gasparini's face. We're playing pretty good defense. I'm not going to lie, some small mistakes. But, yeah, that flag kind of helped turn the momentum towards us a little bit.
Gasparoni from the shotgun, checks with the sideline, and right back at it. Clock continues to run. 1:35 to play here in the first half. Tied up at 14. De La Salle in scoring range. Gasparoni, quick throw, out to the side, far side of the field, bobbled. I didn't see, looked like they're going to call that a catch inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. That is good concentration. And now we have a late flag, very late flag. The far referee threw it at the 8-yard line.
Really unsure what this penalty could possibly be about. It looked clean. Looks like we got sportsmanlike conduct. Wow, that'll go against.
So on sportsmanlike conduct on St. Mary's. So it'll remain third down, third and goal. Now we move the ball back inside the 10. They'll spot it at the 8-yard line. So third and goal here.
Even if the Pilots have to take a field goal here, they'll take the points before half. Who doesn't want the lead before halftime, given the momentum?
So Kareem Pruitt, the starting strong safety here for this Eaglets defense, the guilty party. So third down and goal. Massive third down here for both of these teams. Play clock down to 5. And we're going to take a timeout. De La Salle wants to talk this over. Look, on the De La Salle side of things, you get this in here before the half, feeling pretty good. You scored 21. You did it a couple of different ways. You're able to move the ball, string a couple of first downs together. You feel pretty good offensively. Defensively here, if you're St. Mary's, you stop this. De La Salle hypothetically takes the field goal opportunity. That is a win for St. Mary's here. So some interesting dynamics here deep in St. Mary's territory with just $1.25 to play here in the first half. But Dan Roan wants to talk about how they want to handle this. And look, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Dan Roan says, we're going to go for it. If maybe you got 2 plays, right? You run a Gasparoni keeper inside and see where it gets you. But that's probably part of the discussion here. I think in a tie game, 14-14, among 2 top 10 teams, a lot riding in the Catholic League, I think it would be wise to take the points in that situation. But let's see what Dan Roan draws up.
A lot of Catholic League games, basketball, soccer, football, baseball, they're all decided in a lot of short margin of points. Nothing is a blowout game usually in the Catholic League.
Wagner in motion. Gasparoni takes, got a little time. Throwing, corner of the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Damian King hauls it in for the Pilots. Looks like there was a little bit of confusion on that back end because Damian King was wide open.
Damian King straight to the back corner of the end zone. Far sideline, touchdown Pilots. That'll put them up 6, going straight into halftime.
It's Jackson Turr on to put a foot on this one, try to make it a 7-point lead.
Damian King a little bit out of breath. He goes from catching the touchdown, stay on the field, dude. You're going to have to hold the ball.
That was a nice job there. That one goes up and through. Again, those ends crashing down. They're coming very close to blocking one of those things. But De La Salle, late touchdown here in the first half, gives them a 21-14 lead in what has been a very seesaw game back and forth between really 2 very talented teams. So $1.20 left. All right, so you, Phil, a senior. How many games would you say you've been to in this stadium? Atmospheres like this. You've been to a couple, right?
Oh, definitely. I wish I went to more, honestly.
Well, sure, of course. I wish I would have went to more when I was in high school too. That never changes. What is the concession fare here like? What do we got on tap? What's the crowd favorite here?
Like team-wise, really genuine concessions.
Concessions. Like, look, we're sitting here. We got the ketchup and the mustard stand down here below us. What are we working with here? I smelled popcorn earlier for sure.
They got popcorn. Their
Yep.
hot dogs are fire too.
Hot dogs? Okay, very good.
They're sweet.
All right, hot dogs. Important question. Your whole broadcasting career depends on this answer. Hot dogs, sandwiches, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely.
No, not sandwiches.
Not possible.
You're both right. You both passed.
You didn't split the bun.
I agree.
Bun in
If anything,
half.
it's a sub.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
No
Now, what do you put on your dogs?
ketchup.
Mustard.
Sorry.
Mustard.
Look at this. We are mending rivalries here. Here's the kickoff. A really good tackle on special teams there. Nice job. Drew Bohanna coming in like a bullet, making the tackle at the 15-yard line.
Drew Bohanna stepping up. He is Coach Matt Bohanna's son. He is the JV coach. But last week against Detroit King, we saw Bohanna take a large step up, a 99-yard pick six. We saw right into the first quarter. 6 points for the Pilots, quick.
So Axel Newell back out at quarterback here for the Eaglets. 3 receivers to the right. Takes, rolls, getting pressures, throws, crossbody, got a man out across the 20-yard line. Hauled in Chad Willis making the catch. Nice job just standing in the pocket. Sewell delivered a strike. It was a long completion because he was rolling. It's a gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Clock runs. 53 seconds left. Newell, another quick strike out to the sideline, got Chad Willis again. Able to catch it, curl, and then hop out of bounds. Clock stops 49 seconds left, but there's some discussions among the officiating crew.
Definitely was not offsides. I can rule that out quick because the defensive line did not look ready to take that snap.
Initially, St. Mary's didn't like it, but this discussion continues. That would give St. Mary's enough for a first down on that play if it stands, and it's not going to. So false start here on offense. A little bit of confusion on that play. So they'll mark them back from the initial line of scrimmage inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So instead of 2nd and 2, it turns into 2nd and 7 now. Ball near hash mark. St. Mary's moving left to right. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field out left. Axel Newell from the shotgun. Calls for it, gets it. Quick 3-step drop, throws over the middle, incomplete. Nobody home.
Big pickup there from Drogosh. He'll pick up straight drop out of the Mike linebacker position. Brings up a big corner type block away for the Pilots.
Wanted Lorenzo Barber there. But Lorenzo Barber looked like Barber was kind of running a straight pattern. And Newell just kind of threw it inside on maybe just a baby post, but incomplete. So 3rd and 7 here. Clock stops on the incompletion, 45 seconds left. Newell with 3 receivers out left. Chad Willis near side. Newell takes. Quick throw. Got it, man. What a catch. Snagging, contorting his body. Enough for a first down out across the 25 to the 27.
Great play by Lorenzo Barber. He missed that last one, but he got this one. Enough for the first down.
We'll give credit to the Eaglets. They have some great time management right now. They've taken timeouts wisely.
33 seconds left. Another quick strike. Ooh, incomplete. He was looking for Bryson Williams again, but that one a little too inside. Isaiah Jones on the coverage jarred it out.
Isaiah Jones, not a big name necessarily for the Pilots at a corner, but he's taken a step up, not maybe statistically, but as a leader and a #1 playmaker for the Pilots.
28 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Newell takes, throws, far sideline. Ooh, tried the one-handed catch. Incomplete. Lorenzo Barber, the intended target. So it's 3rd and 10. So St. Mary's has shown offensively they've been able to pick up and convert on some of these long 3rd downs.
Yeah, perfect drive so far, I'd say. Not actually, I wouldn't say perfect, but we're doing good. We're doing good. 24 seconds left. Hopefully we can make something of it, right? Oh, okay.
And now we got whistles on the snap. So De La Salle will take a timeout here. Leading 21-14 with just 23 ticks on the clock here in this first half.
I'm really unsure what Coach Anrone wanted to talk about over there. It seemed like the defensive line and the corners were set up, and it's not like the Eaglets are going to run it up the gut right now for 5 yards and get a 2nd and 5. Correction, it'll be a 4th and 5 then.
Yeah, and you know, maybe it's just a breather, right? It could just be anything. It could be a reminder of something that they saw in film. Lots of options here, but again, the timeout here, I think, from De La Salle, it makes sense in the sense that, you know, St. Mary's is deep in their zone, inside their own 30. You got to go a long way here. So just giving your guys an opportunity to catch a spell maybe is the idea. Either way, 3rd and 10. Empty set here for Axel Newell. Quick throw, got a man out across the 30. Shakes one defender, but not the second.
Tani, big push out of bounds there. He was not concerned about a deep pass there. Even on that screen, he took him out of bounds quick.
So Bryson Williams hauled it in. It's a gain of 8, and now it's 4th and 2. Clock stops as Bryson Williams gets out of bounds. And it looks like with 18 seconds left, Jermaine Gonzalez, the head coach of St. Mary's, wants to go for it. Play clock at 13. Empty set here for Axel Newell. Snaps, calls for it, gets it. Got his man out past the 35-yard line to the 35-yard line to the 39. It's a first down and a timeout. So clock stops with 12 seconds left.
Yeah, now's probably time after getting that first down, getting a little bit of momentum on that after that fourth down conversion. Probably time to go for the deep shot, honestly. You got 12 seconds left. You got to make the most of it, right?
I will say, if the Eaglets attempt to go for this Hail Mary, I think what we'll see is we'll have David Williams break off from his standard safety spot and play a double team with possibly Isaiah Jones in this, because I just can't see the point of stacking the line or doing anything with the run game. It'll most likely be a deep ball or a quick screen, maybe get 6 seconds down, then take the Hail Mary.
Right, and again, with 12 seconds left, I mean, you take that shot, I think hypothetically, absolutely, and maybe you get a screaming post across the middle, something like that, but again, time becomes an issue at your own, roughly around your 40-yard line at the 39. So there are still options here for St. Mary's. Let's see what they drop, and now you get an extra defender dropping out in coverage. That one nearly caught. Bryson Williams had to kind of turn his body to try to grab that one, thrown a little bit behind him. So incomplete, 8 seconds left.
Credit to the athleticism of Dwayne Williams. He's dropped back from the defensive line position, and he actually picked up that tight end to try and prevent the pass downfield. Credit to him on that play.
And we saw Drogosh, too, bail from his normal linebacker spot, kind of going deep. There he goes again, backs it up. Kind of in a prevent defense here. That one's picked off. Coming back the other way and across the 50 to the 45 to the 40. Still on his feet. And taken down inside the 30-yard line and a flag. So we got zeros on the clock. We got to check that flag, though.
Definitely. Nobody is headed to the locker room yet. We may see a possible hit that'll give the Pilots one more chance, because I believe that was that Batani?
Anthony Batani pulled that one in.
First time we called his name today.
Yeah, and looks like now that'll do it. So the interception will end the half. Yeah, so a face mask call on offense. So halftime here. De La Salle up 21-14. We'll take a break. Big time second half coming your way in just a couple of minutes. You're listening to Drive to the Game here on WJR.
Have a dream. This is SportsCaster.com.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
It's Messi. It's his tournament. Is it written in the stars?
They hand it off. Haskins following his block. Haskins, touchdown!
This is your time.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports?
New York Knicks fans were at the Barclays Center booing because we recognize that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Want to be the next great voice in sports? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Amplify the drama.
To the end zone. Touchdown Detroit Lions. Oh my!
And create memories forever etched in our minds.
A year that has been so improbable. The impossible has happened.
Sends shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen?
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard. SportsCaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Create your own sports talk show, stir it up with sports commentary, and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. SportsCaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
Drive to the Game is sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, for hometown halftime coverage, here's Chris Renwick.
All right, welcome back. Halftime here at St. Mary's. St. Mary's and De La Salle getting after it. Of course, we are so thrilled to be bringing you high school football, being in the community, and really showcasing the incredible talents of our high school athletes on the gridiron here in the state of Michigan. But also at WJR, we are very excited and have already started our coverage at the National Football League level. And we are thrilled to be partnering with Westwood One to be bringing you some of the highlights, the primetime marquee matchups in the NFL this year. Thursday night football, Thanksgiving. We have the whole slate for you. And we are pleased to welcome in Ryan McGuire, the VP of Affiliate Sales for Westwood One Sports. And he joins me here at halftime. Ryan, it's great to have you.
Chris, thanks so much for having me. As a native Michigander who grew up listening to the great voice of the Great Lakes, it's a thrill to be on WJR with you.
Well, and then so you know the type of talent we have here, and we're just so excited to showcase, some of the best athletes at the high school level here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's great you guys are doing a game of the week, and WJR has had some of the most iconic sports voices, really some of the most iconic voices, period, to ever grace the state of Michigan, whether it's Ernie Harwell, Paul Carey, the late, great Frank Beckman, Mitch Albom, of course, J.P. McCarthy, Paul W. Smith, and the list goes on and on. And it's awesome that Westwood One can be a part of WJR's lineup during this football season.
Talk to me about what it takes to put one of these broadcasts together, because I know it's a Herculean task, but with the staff that you guys have, your play-by-play host, your analysts, I mean, it's just such a pro staff front to back.
We could do a reality TV series on it, Chris, to be honest with you, because it takes a village and it is very involved. Without going into the details, our executive producer, Mike Eby, who's in his first year in that position, but he's been with the company for many years, he's put together a roster of talent that really, what I like to say, signifies the gold standard of sports broadcasting. We're in our 38th consecutive year of being the official broadcast partner of the National Football League, and it's something that we get very excited for. I think we have some of the most marquee talent in the business calling our primetime NFL games, which you can hear on WJR. Starting first, of course, with our number one team of Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer Kurt Warner and Rich Eisen from the NFL Network, who's our studio host for Monday Night Football broadcasts, and also the marquee playoff matchups, as well as the Super Bowl.
Well, and then coming up on Monday, we've got another big game, a lot of playoff implications. In only week 2, we've got the Eagles and we've got the Falcons here on WJR. I mean, the Eagles have obviously made a ton of moves, but they've continued to maintain and operate at a very high level. Saquon Barkley joining the squad. And then we got another Michigander calling plays for the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins. This is going to be another really fun one.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is. The former Spartan, he kind of struggled in his first game, but I'm sure he'll get the Falcons back on track. Airtime for that one right here on WJR is at 7:30. You can also hear that if you're not in your car. You can hear that online at WJR.com and also via the WJR app as well. And then coming up next Thursday night, we've got a big matchup out of the AFC East with New England and the New York Jets, game number 2 for Aaron Rodgers. And, of course, there's no love lost in the state of Michigan for A-Raj. But we'll have that game for you as well right here on WJR.
So lots of high-level football all across the board. high school, Michigan State, and, of course, the NFL, courtesy of our friends at Westwood One Sports. Ryan McGuire, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to hear some of these matchups right here on WJR, and very much appreciate your partnership. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yep, you got it. That is Ryan McGuire, the VP of Affiliate Sales for Westwood One Sports. We couldn't be happier to bring you high-level football at every single level. We'll get back to second half action coming up here from St. Mary's as we continue. You're listening to Drive to the Game here on WJR.
Cooper, sometimes for, people like us, up-and-coming broadcasters, we have our podcast coming up, Cooper and Carter, SportsCaster Original. There might not be places for us to post, but now we just have this opportunity.
It makes me smile.
Now we have SportsCaster, and oh, what a lovely place it is.
Okay, now you're getting me excited.
I am, because now we can post our podcast. We can post little clips.
Of course.
We can voice over, professional plays going on in the sports world. We can connect with people like Detroit Lions play-by-play Dan Miller. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, and I absolutely love it.
I absolutely love it as well, giving us an opportunity and experience that we only could have dreamed of, and now SportsCaster is giving it to us on a silver platter. That's what it does, and that's what it's here for. SportsCaster. We put the mic in your hands.
Let me ask you, when you're in the booth and you're calling the game, do you feel like it's just flowing and coming naturally to you?
Well, some days are better than others.
Of
Some
course.
games are better than
Of course,
others.
yeah.
Some flow better by themselves. Some days it just, anybody who's in broadcasting knows it doesn't come naturally all the time. Some days are better than others. And it's just a matter of being consistent and staying with it and remembering those principles that I said. The game is the thing. That don't ever forget. It's not about you. It's not about your color guy. It's about Michigan playing football. It's about the Lions playing football. That's what you're there for. And as long as you, I think, stay with that, keep true to yourself and your own personality, I think you'll be fine. And everybody makes mistakes. Don't stop and think, oh my God, it's a terrible day. You just got to fight through the tough spots and make sure you turn maybe a tough day into one of your greatest days.
Hey, welcome to the SportsCaster.com and WJR broadcast of this Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Warren De La Salle football game. It has been a lot of fun in the first half. 35 points scored between the two teams, 21-14. De La Salle is leading at halftime, but I get the sense, Taryn, that we are in store for a lot more scoring, and I bet that we are going to see at some point here this game, this lead go back and forth, because Orchard Lake has really gone toe-to-toe with De La Salle tonight.
And I agree, and it really just has been back and forth, and the student sections have been going back and forth, and it's just really fun to see. Obviously, De La Salle had that late touchdown and put them up at halftime, but it'll be just so much fun to see what this second half has in store for us.
I am Michael Spath, being joined by Taryn Fritching, a sophomore at Troy Athens High, and Antonio Shamas, a senior here at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And so, Antonio, you said before we came on the air that you called it, that you called one of the touchdowns in the corner of the end zone. Why did you think it was coming?
I talked to James Savory earlier. That's my guy. And, when I talked to him about it, he said that De La Salle didn't know he was playing. They kept contacting the coaches, and they wouldn't get a straight answer. And, I knew he was going to come out there, be a threat, and he got a touchdown. He called it, I called it, so, there it is.
So, I used to be a sports reporter and sports writer in Ann Arbor, and I remember something Red Berenson, the great Michigan hockey coach, used to tell me. He used to say that when we play big games, our best players have to be our best players. Yeah. And tonight, when you look at these two teams, and we talked a little bit about some of those players before the game who had to really stand out, and I think they are standing out here tonight. Taryn talked about the quarterbacks from De La Salle. and Orchard Lake, what you've seen out of them tonight, and just some of the big plays that they've had in the first half.
Santi Gasparoni has really stepped up in this first half, and he's just really been helping De La Salle drive that football down the field, and that's what I think is just so I just think that's so key for this game because just of how close it's been. And same goes for Axel Newell. They really just have been making huge key plays, and obviously to have those key plays by those tight ends, those wide receivers, those running backs, you have to have that from the quarterback first. And that's why I think that they both have just played really well this first half, because I don't know that any of their other quarterbacks, like Javen Gonzalez got in there early on, but he ran a few and he was like, okay.
A huge fumble.
And then De La Salle, they haven't put in Anthony Batanti. They've been sticking with Santi Gasparoni, which has been really interesting to see, because Anthony Batanti told me that he did get a few key touches against King, but nothing quite much. And that's why I think that Santi and Axel have just been having really, really good games.
Yeah, Santi Gasparoni, the starting quarterback for Warren De La Salle, has a rushing touchdown and a throwing touchdown, the one to put him over the top, 21-14 at the end of the first half. He also had a great throw down to, what was the young man's name they threw the completion down to?
They had
Lopez.
Michael Lopez.
Michael
yes.
Lopez, yeah, one of his running backs, about a 40-yarder, really nice throw. So he has started for De La Salle. On the other side for St. Mary's, the biggest play probably of the game for them was a kickoff return. Where were you, Antonio, when Mr. Hurst brought back a 100-yarder here in this game?
You know, I was in that booth. I was up there with Phil. I was just looking at him, and you know, you could just look at him. He had that. I wasn't there to see it, but you know, he had that look in his eye. He was going all the way. I mean, he knew it. Everyone knew it, and he got that team fired up on the sideline. It wasn't just about that touchdown. It was about you know, just getting the team hyped up and getting them, you know, ready for this next quarter as well.
Yeah, when you look at potential players of the game, Reese Hurst, the kickoff returner, he's had two great kickoff returns so far here tonight, Taryn and Antonio. He's also, you know, played a little bit on both sides of the ball. Has looked really, really good. When you look at it too, I mean, you mentioned Axel. I mean, he's had a couple of nice throws, but the one thing that stood out to me about this game, it feels a little disjointed. We've had a lot of scoring, which has paused the game. And Antonio, you played football. We've had a lot of penalties. How does all those penalties disrupt the momentum and the energy of the game? I don't know the exact number, but I bet you we've had more than 15 penalties in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, I've played in Catholic League games. You know, I've watched Catholic League games, whether it's baseball, hockey, basketball, football. I mean, the games are a lot chippier. You hit a lot harder. You know, there'll be more penalties. But, you know, I don't think it disrupts energy, honestly. You know, both teams want to beat each other so bad. It's big in the conference. They're both top 25 teams. So, I mean, I think that they just want to, you know, keep it going, and that's what we're going to keep seeing. More penalties and harder hits.
You said earlier that they hit a little bit harder when it's the Catholic League conference game.
Big time, big time.
Taryn, looking at the second half, what do you expect to see? You know, obviously De La Salle has had two very impressive victories so far this season. When we were at the Davison game 2 weeks ago, the second half is when they pulled away from Davison. Are you expecting more of the same tonight, or do you expect Orchard Lake to hang in there for the rest of it?
I expect Orchard Lake to hang in there tonight. Like, really, the key plays by Santi and then the touchdown by Dalton Drogosh in the first quarter were huge, but I expect that St. Mary's will really just keep it going.
All right, 21-14 here at the half. We're going to kick it back up to the booth where Chris Renwick is up there, Gavin Velasevic, and Phil Assad representing St. Mary's High School and Warren De La Salle. Chris, take it away from here for a great second half action.
Loyal WJR listeners, the time to start an estate plan is now. So Estate Planning Legal Services are pleased to offer a complimentary estate planning kit or teleconference at EPLSPC.com. Let's be honest, we never truly know what tomorrow will bring. So Estate Planning Legal Services offer the simplest way to guarantee your assets and property will be distributed according to your wishes. So that's why all WJR listeners need to call Estate Planning Legal Services at 248-435-0400. That's 248-435-0400. Or if a teleconference appointment is easier, just visit EPLSPC.com. EPLS prepares comprehensive planning packages to manage and protect your family. Receive your complimentary estate planning kit and set your appointment now with locally based estate planning legal services. Call 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. That's 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. Plan for tomorrow today. Estate Planning Legal Services.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
De La Salle leads St. Mary's 21-14, getting you ready for second half action here in Catholic League play in week number 3. 2 top 10 teams going at it, and we have a good one to bring you the rest of here in our Drive to the Game coverage here on WJR. Gavin Velesevic joins me from De La Salle, and Phil Assad here from St. Mary's. You know, interesting, I think, from a St. Mary's perspective, we have not seen Jabin Gonzalez since that fumble. They've been going steady. Axel Newell, and I think they've been very productive offensively.
Oh, yeah, Axel's been playing pretty good. I like how he's doing so far after that one Jabin fumble. I mean, I think you should definitely put him back in, give him another chance. It was definitely a mistake. Obviously, Jabin's a really talented guy. He'll bounce back. They'll probably put him in sometime soon.
And defensively, this Pilots defense has been getting it done that first half too.
Definitely. You can't knock out Drogosh first tackles for loss, or even his, scoop and score. You cannot be mad at him.
Here's a kick on the ground, and then flubbed at the 40-yard line. Who's got it? St. Mary's says they do, but do they? Yes, they do. So the Pilots, right off the rip to start the second half, just a little dribbler up the middle, and they couldn't handle it, and the Pilots take over.
That is credit to Coach, Special Teams Coordinator Bill Sheridan. I mean, you cannot give it a doubt that Pilot special teams struggled in the first half, 100%, and that's a way to recover first. Put the offense on the field at the 42-yard line, and that's a first down for the Pilots.
DJ White was the one who couldn't come up with it. So now right back out here on offense. Gasparoni takes. He's going to keep it up the middle. Get 5 yards inside the 40, just shy of the 35-yard line. Second down. We'll call it 6. Second down and 4 coming up. Phil, that is not how you wanted to draw this thing up here to start the second half. Played well in those first 2 quarters. Thought you were going to get the ball back, and instead, De La Salle ends up here on offense.
Yeah, I was really surprised when they did that, and that's unfortunate because our team definitely wasn't prepared for that. So.
Here's a fake to Glassner on the sweep. Just chunk yards here from Gasparoni, picking up enough for another first down here for De La Salle.
Gasparoni is just mauling people off the line. He is getting the physical push quick off that offensive line. Credit to them. After Blake Matlock is permanently in for the Pilots, Rylan Hale ruled out for the rest of this game with a left knee injury.
So early second quarter action here. Second half action. Here's a dump out, far sideline, upended at the 15-yard line. Nice job on that far side. Mike Lopez, the recipient of that one. He ends up end over end, but a big gain and a first down inside the 15 at the 14.
Mikey Lopez, big return for that Pilots offense after he dropped the first one in the second quarter. Big way to recover.
Here's a give around the edge, trying to find the corner, but he couldn't. Cam Flowers on the little sweep. He'll lose a yard back to the 15. 2nd and 11 coming up. And we've got an injured Eaglet down right around where that play ended.
I think what we saw there was Jet Reed is not working for the Pilots, and they're going to have to work on that if they want to keep it going to Flowers into their close sideline.
Kind of surprised he didn't call a horse collar right there. Well, on the top of his nameplate. So St. Mary's got lucky with that one.
That's Kamari Patterson, the starting free safety for this St. Mary's defense, who is down on the ground getting some attention from the staff. Able to get up on his feet and walk it off. That's a good sight. Well, it's been a physical game. Obviously, it means a lot in the league, in the Catholic League. But I mean, these are two teams that really want this game. St. Mary's hasn't won it in 4 years, and De La Salle has been handling this one in recent memory. But these two teams very, very much evenly matched here. De La Salle's got a little bit of juice going here early in this second quarter.
This is not like both defenses are just, not giving any effort, giving up a lot of points. It's just the offenses are cruising on both sides of the ball, and we have to give credit where credit is due.
So Gasparoni goes to the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers out left, ball far hash mark. De La Salle moving right to left. The southpaw takes a quick 3-step drop, throws into the end zone, incomplete. That's good coverage there. Kareem Pruitt all over the long, lengthy tight end, Zach Wagner, nobody home. It's 3rd and 11.
Wagner looks like he got an even push on both sides. Definitely no penalty required there. Just seems like Wagner maybe didn't get the quickest out as he could have to maybe score for the Pilots his second time this year.
So 3rd and 11. Big third down here for both teams. St. Mary's able to keep this one at bay. That would be a big win.
Both teams looking for their first Catholic League. Both teams would be looking for a big Catholic League win. Of course, Eaglets did beat St. John's Jesuit last week.
Here's a throw, crossbody. Phoenix Glassner hauls it in. It's not going to be enough for a first down. Taken down at the 7.5-yard line. They needed the 4. And it looks like Dan Roan is going to keep his offense out.
Coach Dan Roan, 5th season with the Pilots, definitely has led them to victory so far, 2 state championships. He knows what he's doing out there, and if he's got trust in the team's going to put trust in the offensive line and the offense.
Here's a late call. They're going to try the field goal attempt here. Couple of late substitutions, play clock down to 13. Jackson Turr lines this one up. High snap, well corralled. That one is up, and it is through.
King put it down nice after he recovered from that high snap. Turr, first field goal of the year for him after a few point attempts. That'll be his first sophomore field goal.
Phil, I know that you that's not how you'd wanted to start the second half, obviously.
Yeah.
But you look on the bright side here. You hold them to a field goal. That's a win for that defense when they were put in a tough spot right off the rip.
Oh yeah, defense played good, especially in that red zone drive right there by De La Salle. Really, really good defense. I'm surprised De La Salle didn't go for the touchdown, honestly. They had all the momentum in their hands. But yeah, proud of our defense, and now it's our turn.
And now I think from Jermaine Gonzalez's perspective on the sideline here, it's, all right, heads up, right? Heads up. You don't want another squib kick that you're not going to be able to handle. If you can't get to it, right, let it roll. Somebody else will get to it. But if you're one of those guys up front here on the blocking team on this unit, you just got to be heads up here. Here's the run-up. Same little squib kick. That one gets touched. This one time fielded right and coming the other way. All the way inside the 20 to the 15 into the end zone. Touchdown, Eaglets. Charles White picks it up and takes it the distance.
Amazing play by DJ White. Guy, super talented, 12th in the state according to 247 Sports. Guys, he's committed to MSU. Got offers from Boston College as well. Super talented guy.
Well, that is the definition of redemption. Charles White on the opening kickoff here in the second half is the one that fumbled it. He's the one that flubbed it. And this time he makes good for 6. Oh, my goodness. An extra point attempt away from making this just a 3-point De La Salle lead. Good snap, good hold, kicks up, and it's good. 9:27 to play here in the third quarter, early third quarter action, and we've had 10 points scored in just, 3 minutes of gameplay. Woo. Now that is a momentum swing. I think look, the student section clad in their leis and their Hawaiian shirts are jumping. We got the St. Mary's flag waving. Now look, I know you didn't like that opening kickoff, but my goodness, that is a momentum shifter.
Yeah, best thing that could have happened to us. I'm surprised they went for another squib kick.
And so now for De La Salle, Gavin, what's the message from this coaching staff?
The message is honestly, they gave up way too much on special teams. If I'm being honest, almost all 3 touchdowns have become because of field position and giving up the early run. I mean, that's 2 returned. That is 2 directly returned into the end zone off a kickoff. And I think the Pilots just struggled to keep anybody contained in the middle, force them down. Everybody's bounced it out to the sideline for a touchdown.
So now this Orchard Lake sideline is bumping. Players are into it. Fans are into it. We got a good one here brewing. Chris Renwick, good to have you along for our drive to the game coverage this week. 2 top 10 teams here in the Catholic League going at it. De La Salle, St. Mary's. De La Salle with just a 3-point lead. Here's the kick. High spinner, fielded, and then out of bounds go the Pilots. Good to have Gavin Velesevic back in the booth with me after our Week 2 game. Gavin, it's good to have you back, and Phil Assad from St. Mary's joining us as well. I love this field. It's unique. It's different. You know, I remember, whatever it was, a decade ago when Boise State put in the blue field. It was almost blasphemous. How could you possibly, but this is unique. We don't have these fields like this in Michigan. It is very much a St. Mary's staple.
Oh, yeah, it's great. They redid the turf, I think, like a year or 2 ago. It's iconic.
So under 9:30 to play here in the third quarter. De La Salle up 24-21. Gasparoni keeps with a hole up the middle. Ooh, closed quickly. He'll pick up positive yards, but coming down the hill quickly, Trajan Gibson, one of the defensive linemen, kind of looped around and then came down and closed that hole quickly. So pick up a 4, brings up 2nd and 6 here. De La Salle moving right to left. They're at their own 27. Quick throw. Shedding a man out across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Far sideline is Isaac Gatine, shedding a couple of tackles and getting enough for a first down. And Gasparoni just getting the ball out quick. Quick passes or runs up the middle. That's this offensive mindset right now.
Glasner was able to bounce that one outside, get a few extra yards just to give them the first down. First down, Pilots.
Here's a give. Up the middle with room. Out to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mike Lopez.
Mikey Lopez, big step up there. That's the first time we have seen him rush for that touchdown there. Incredible job by Lopez. Bounces it out to the outside, jukes the defender, and ends up in the end zone.
And just like that, teeter-totter, back and forth these teams go. Mike Lopez with a big score, and we're a point away from De La Salle being back up 10.
First, Pilots had Drogosh score, then they went to Gasparoni up the middle. Then you end up with the touchdown quick right before halftime, the field goal Jackson Tur. Now you end up with the big 6-point touchdown plus the PAT from Jackson Tur there. 10-point lead from the Pilots after the field goal and that touchdown extra point there.
31-21, and it feels like, Phil, every time that De La Salle has found some success, seems like the Eaglets have always had an answer. I expect something similar.
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends on the special teams, right? I mean, St. Mary's won the special teams battle by a landslide so far this game, in my opinion. It depends what we can do from this punt. And, you can't just win on special teams. You got offense and defense to play, too. But, yeah, so our offense is going to be out. We got to lock in.
I'm curious to know about somebody like Trey Goyke. This is a guy who is very much relied upon. This is somebody who is a dynamic playmaker. He can do a lot of things. Tell us a little bit about Trey.
Man, Trey is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Like, this guy's been in so many classes of mine. Super, super nice guy. Like, if you ever need any help, he's the guy to go to. He's a leader. He's a leader, like, in any class that we're in. He steps up, right? We have group discussions or whatever what it may be. He's going to step up. He's the guy you rely on, and it's clear here. It's clear as day. He's the leader on his team. He is one of the biggest leaders on this team. And without him, this team's morale especially wouldn't be as high as it is.
Here's a little pop-up. This one fielded, coming back, making a man miss at the 20, and then driving it forward inside, outside the 25-yard line to the 26. So that's where St. Mary's will take over.
I think what we saw there was Pilots could have had him down at the 21-yard line, but Bahana tried to go for the big play and ended up on his belly on the turf. And that'll end up with a first down just around the 26. Not that big of a gain that the Eaglets got after that missed tackle, but the little things are what's really crushing the Pilots in this game.
So Darren Jones, as they go to the pistol. Axel Newell pulls it, getting pressure, throws incomplete. That one tipped, and we've got a flag on the play.
I think Ermani's going to get called for a pass interference.
Yeah, Ermani was the one who got a hand on it. They were looking for Jaden Savory, the tight end, but he got taken to the turf.
May have even been a trip, unintentional. Did not look like Ermani was like giving up and he's going to burn me down the sideline. It looked like kind of unintentional, and that'll give the first down.
Yep, so that'll be a holding call. So that'll give St. Mary's a first down here out to the 36-yard line. So a fresh set here for Axel Newell. Ball near hash mark. St. Mary's moving left to right. They've got two receivers out to the left. Here's a give, trying the left side, cutting it back in. Darren Jones Jr. able to muscle his way forward for 3 yards out to the 39. 2nd and 7 coming up as Axel Newell gets his signs from the sideline. And sometimes, if you're out at one of these games, you'll probably see some sort of tent on each sideline, and inside those tents usually are a TV where these teams are able to break down tape kind of in real time. They're able to see what they've done wrong, what they did right, and it gives these coaching staffs kind of another tool as this pass is complete near sideline, running down and then being tackled from behind. Chad Willis hauls that one in for a big gain and a first down inside De La Salle Taylor territory.
I think what we saw there was Rouse just got beat on the inside. He tried to go for the interception, really couldn't get the hand in there in time, and ended up losing about 20 yards on that play just because he overcommitted.
Drew Bohanna able to bring him down. So first down and 10 inside the De La Salle 40. Ball at the 36. Newell calls for it, gets it, gives it. Trying that left side and then squeaking over towards the middle of that pile, getting positive yards, Darren Jones Jr.
Yeah, you might see an end zone shot here from St. Mary's. One explosive play, and then now a run. You could see a deep shot probably here.
They got the guys on the outside, certainly, to give a go at it. No doubt about it. Newell takes, wants to take a shot, far sideline. Ooh, nearly caught on that far side. Lorenzo Barber, the intended target. Good coverage as well. Isaiah Jones, who's had a pretty good game tonight.
Isaiah Jones, this could be his game where colleges are like, dude, you are a star. We haven't seen you much this season, but this is your breakout game. We've seen him tip away a lot. We've talked about Rouse a lot, but you can't go without giving Isaiah Jones a little bit of credit here.
3rd and 7. Newell takes, fakes, sets, throws, wants to go deep. Got a man! Near the corner of the end zone. Touchdown! St. Mary's.
Bryson Williams again.
Once again, Rouse just did not get his hand in there in time. Tried to go for the interception again, got burned the second time. He has to go back to film and see. He's got to be more patient and maybe be more conservative in this close game that could be close as 3, again, between the Eaglets and the Pilots.
So the Michigan State future star hauling that one in. That is a really, really good pass. Robbie Armani was in coverage. Not terrible coverage. It was a good pass, and Bryson Williams able to identify it and go grab it. 6:47 play. Just like that. There's the answer from St. Mary's.
Yeah, I honestly, like, after seeing how momentum was completely basically De La Salle, especially on the on that last drive that they had, I wasn't expecting that, but perfect drive by Orchard Lake St. Mary's and capping it off with a Bryson Williams touchdown.
6:47 to play. De La Salle up 3. Oh my goodness.
For the Pilots, I think special teams needs to be a big improvement this drive. Once again, special teams for the Eaglets, they've been dominating the Pilots. They've gotten in good field position, and the Pilots defense really has not received a break once in terms of field position other than the goal line plays from the Eaglets.
So St. Mary's has this one teed up. Also, shout out to our Detroit Tigers. They get them tonight 1-0. They gave up 1 hit as a staff tonight over a Baltimore team. Look, I don't know. Their pitching staff is depleted, but that's a good baseball team and a big win for the Tigers.
Definitely for the Tigers. Even though they came short yesterday against the Rockies, if they pick up a 1-hit win is big for the Tigers. Could put them within 2 if Minnesota loses today.
So line drive kick goes into the end zone, and De La Salle takes over on offense. I want to talk a little bit about this defense for St. Mary's because, it can be tough, giving up some of these touchdowns, but they have they're a scrappy bunch. They just kind of find a way on that next drive. They don't let a lot of it bother them.
Oh yeah, like I said in the first half, this entire defense is basically veterans. Like you got DJ White, you got CJ, like all these guys are dogs.
Gasparoni gives up the middle. Gatine, the carrier, not going to get much, if any, out maybe to the 20.5-yard line, but that's about it. We've got an injured Pilot down on the ground. Looks like maybe David Birch, the right guard.
That would be a humongous loss for the Pilots.
He's down on the far side of the play. Ryan Hale already, of course, out for the rest of the game, the starting left guard. And he's getting some attention on the far side.
So the possible scenario we have here, if it is in fact Birch down, we would see the senior Nick Williams step in, most likely at right guard. Or we could possibly see Ryan Pulowski, the junior, or Brady Matlock step in. The twin brother, actually, of the new sub-in at left guard for the Pilots.
There is certainly teammates rallying around him as looks like he's unable to put weight on his leg, so he's got some teammates carrying him off. And that's one of the unfortunate things about this game. It is a violent game, obviously. Gavin, you know, especially in the trenches.
Definitely. Pilots were already struggling last week against Detroit King. Nick Williams did have to sub in at center for the last 4 plays because Lewis Thomas took a quick break with a knee injury. That was quick. He recovered enough for this game. But what we see, I believe, is Nick Williams at right guard.
Joey Stevenson actually looks like he's checking in at right guard.
That is a position change for him, definitely, moving from the left to right side. I'm pretty surprised that happened.
So 6:18 as the clock restarts. Gasparoni takes, turns, throws, got a man. Tackled just shy of the 30-yard line out to the 29. Very close to a first down. He'll be about 2 yards short. So it's 3rd and short here.
The goal of the Pilots is either take a rush that they bounce outside for a few yards. It doesn't have to be a giant gain. Or we see them go pass, quick screen, bubble, something like that, where the wide receivers are dominant. But instead, actually, we see Batani step in with Lopez. So that probably indicates that the Pilots are going to take a run with the extra back in the backfield.
Batani gives him the wildcat look. He settles in, calls for it, gets it. He does keep it. Boy, nothing there. That is a stout stop up front by this St. Mary's defense, and it's 4th down. Pilots are going to have to punt it away. That's a good stop.
Amazing stop. Trajan Gibson. Perfect.
Pilots, that's just going to be a weakness, and they're going to have to accept that now with losing 2 starting offensive linemen, both on the interior. They're going to have to accept the fact that they're out, and we've got 2 juniors in that aren't exactly the most experienced.
And potentially changes the plan for this offensively, right? We saw a lot of that, a lot of those runs by Gasparoni inside potentially changes things.
Definitely. You have David Birch, senior, big fella, goes down, and that's an unfortunate loss for the Pilots because you see in most plays, actually, is Gasparoni will either favor the left edge or up the right center between Thomas and Birch. And with the substitution of Stevenson, we won't see that as much. Pilots will probably rely on the pass game now.
So timeout here from St. Mary's, as they'll likely receive this punt coming up here in just a moment after the timeout. But that gets a lot of juice back in the stadium. Fans certainly into it. That whole St. Mary's sideline very excited after that big 3rd down stop. And again, no team is really ever complete, right? Every team has their flaws. Every team has their weaknesses. But these are 2 really good teams. These are 2 really good teams that even where some of the areas where there might be some warts, they have a way to cover up for them. And part of that is coaching and part of that is talent.
Definitely. I think at the beginning of the season is the coaches took an address to all the players on the De La Salle sideline. And they said, if you want to be here, we'll coach you. If you don't want to be here, your time is to leave. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. They are grinding back for a state championship this year, and all players on that sideline are willing to put in the effort.
So that one bounces out on that punt. Again, St. Mary's coming dangerously close to blocking that punt. And it goes out of bounds at the St. Mary's 45-yard line. So great starting field position here for this Eaglets team, being led by the man that we have seen for most of this game, Axel Newell. To the shotgun, calls for it, gets it, gives it, up the middle, keeping those legs churning. Darren Jones Jr. picking up 7 inside De La Salle territory.
Yeah, he's had himself a night, honestly. Him and Trey Goike. Darren Jones has had most of the workload, but still, both of the backs, really, really good night so far.
And they just run hard, very downhill. You get them on the outside, but when they have to go north and south, they turn that corner. Newell calls for it, gets it. Why not? Give it to Jones again. Pushing it inside the 45-yard line out to the 43, and enough for a first down.
Darren Jones kind of reminds me of David Montgomery, honestly. Not just the number, but just the way he plays. Like, he's not scared to get hit, and he breaks tackles.
Very physical runner, no doubt about it. Why not? Giving it to him again. Dancing around, finding some space. Darren Jones Jr. inside the 40 to the 38. That's just big chunk yardage there on first down, and he'll get a spell.
Honestly, for the Pilots defense, especially on the defensive line, they're struggling. This is not their best game that we've seen. This is not the Davison game where you saw inside run stuff out. This is a game where they're getting beat. That's the reality.
Newell, quick 3-step drop, throws, got a man, made him, oh, nearly shook his tackler. That is a heck of a catch on the run. Chad Willis making the catch.
Pilots are going to have to work around with Coach Bush here, their defensive coordinator, to see what they can do to fill the gaps, but also protect on that pass, because they do have to respect that.
Newell takes. Why not? Run the football. Nice run there. That is Trey Goike.
Yep. Perfect duo, him and Darren Jones. Like, you could just put him in and out. It doesn't even matter. Same thing's going to happen either way.
Now that we're into the deep third quarter, Pilots really need to work on getting deep into the grit of the zone.
Here's a give. Goike again, following his blockers out to the left. Ball's on the ground. De La Salle says they have, and they do. Oh, my goodness.
That is an absolutely possibly the biggest break the Pilots saw. They go down with an injury on offense, basically in the same field position. They recover that fumble near the 15-yard line. Pilots recover, pick up the fumble, and that's a big first down for the Pilots after a drive that went out unsuccessful.
Yeah, and I mean, the Eaglets looking for their first lead of the game. They're moving down the field, moving the football, and it goes to the turf. And now, after the turnover, once again, Gasparoni out and this De La Salle offense. Here's a give up the middle. Nice hole there.
I don't mind that play at all, actually.
Gasparoni, that's a keeper. Gasparoni on the keep.
Honestly, that play worked well. The offensive line split basically into a V formation, made a nice hole for Gasparoni to fill and truck over some of the linebackers.
Here comes the motion man. That's Phoenix Glasner trying to find the corner. Just not much there. Good pursuit on that edge.
I think we could have seen Glasner possibly bring that one in to the inside and bounce it out later down the field. He tried to just run out basically a bubble, but with the ball. Seems like we might have hamstring tightness. He looked like for the Eaglets. Unsure who that is.
Yeah, that is Charles White, the outside linebacker, a little bit slow to get up, but he able to run off. So big third down here for De La Salle. It's going to be 3rd and 3. And you've got kind of the mainstays out there for this offense. Phoenix Glasner, Julius Wilson.
Julius Wilson, not a name we've called tonight a lot statistically, but he's been big blocking up front.
Clock ticks, 1:33 to play here in the third quarter. De La Salle maintains a 3-point lead, 31-28. Big third down, 3rd and 3. From their own 24. Gasparoni calls for it, and we've got whistles. Timeout as that play clock was ticking down to 0. Dan Roan saw it and wanted to take that timeout.
Coach Dan Roan, some choice words for the quarterback, Santi Gasparoni. He did not look like they were on the same page across the board for the Pilots, and looks like they have to take a timeout that could have been crucial.
And again, when you're working in a couple of new guards in game, it's going to be difficult to keep everybody on the same page.
For sure, and that's just inexperience, honestly. Having Joey Stevenson hop in for some of his first varsity reps, having Blake Matlock switch to a position he doesn't start at normally, especially on varsity, let alone on any other form of JV.
And Orchard Lake here now, 3rd down and 3. This would be a big stop, much needed here, Phil.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Momentum's all on De La Salle side now, and it's a game of momentum.
3rd and 3. Here's a keeper, Gasparoni. Oh, I think he might have got it on that second surge. Fell forward. I think he's got just enough. Needed 3. I think he's got 3. Let's see what the signal is. Still no signal.
Either way, even if it's 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, I think we see.
Ooh, late flag.
Might be unsportsmanlike conduct, actually, on the Eaglets. They had some interesting word choice for the Pilots after that play.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that'll give them a free first down here. They never really declared where that ball ended up or if it was indeed a first down, but the penalty makes it so anyway. So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 42-yard line of De La Salle. And that's just not a penalty you can take in a game like this, at a time like this, with just under a minute to play here in the third.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Small things lead to big things, and, something as, it's not necessary just to talk smack after a play, and that cost us probably what could have been a 4th down.
So the officiating crew still talking things over. We've got 48 seconds left here in the third. De La Salle up 31-28. Gasparoni to the shotgun takes. Looking, throwing, right, got a man, taken down. A gain of 12. Damon King hauled it in.
Solid reception from Damian King. He's got offers all over the place. He is definitely a well-repped veteran with lots of experience starting since his freshman year. He's been a big addition to this Pilots offense this year, stepping up in a bigger way than they saw last year in the state championship.
And that was just a confident throw by Gasparoni, who calls for it again, gets it, gives it. Trying to find a little room, not much.
I cannot say that Blake Matlock is having a bad game. He has taken some quick ends and put them on the ground. He is not struggling at a position where he was just thrown into. Mental confusion may be different, but physically he is having a strong game out there.
So De La Salle doesn't have to run a play here. We're at 5 seconds left. Doesn't look like they're gonna. So that'll be the end of the third quarter. De La Salle up 31-28. We got a tight one here in Catholic League action. It's Drive to the Game, fourth quarter, coming up next here on WJR.
This is SportsCaster.com.
Great moments.
So what we're doing with SportsCaster.com is we're giving people a platform, a community, all focused on sports broadcasting, whether it be a podcast, a piece of commentary, stirring it up with the other guys, the Michigan-Ohio State fans getting together on a particular issue and really going at it, whatever it may be, or a live play-by-play opportunity. People can go there, subscribe to the channels, enjoy their favorite sports broadcasters and their commentary and their content. And it's a great way for people to learn and hone their craft before they go out and, do it at the NFL or the college level.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I truly do, and it's going to help broadcasters. You asked me earlier, what should a young broadcaster do to get started? Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Find a way to get on that sportscaster.com, get on that high school broadcast, and when you do, tape it, so that you have an audition tape that you can send to some other outlet, wherever it is, and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I've done before. Like actors send out lists of credits. Yep. This is a movie I've done before. This is a voiceover I've done before. Same thing with sportscaster.com. Get on that broadcast, find a way and do it, and then tape it, and then send it along so that someone else gets an opportunity. Who knows? You may get hired, and you're not just 1 week; you're 10 weeks in a row, and that's how you do it. It's hard. It doesn't pay a lot of money, but if you're really committed and you really want to do it, hopefully, there's nothing more rewarding. There's one of those things I tell people. I said, if you have a job you love, you don't work a day in your life. Yeah. Well, I'm guilty. And that's kind of what being a sports broadcaster, especially in play-by-play, I was very, very lucky to do that. But it starts out hard, but once you get there, it's very rewarding.
So what we're doing with sportscaster.com
from De La Salle joins me, and Phil Assad from St. Mary's here. And guys, we got a good one brewing here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Really good game so far. This is back and forth.
Back and forth, two premier teams in the Catholic League.
Definitely a step up for both teams, especially St. Mary's coming back, bouncing back from their 4 losses in a row against the Pilots in the Catholic League. Nice to see them back.
So start of the fourth quarter. Gasparoni checks with his sideline. It's 2nd down and 9 from near midfield. Gasparoni takes quick 3-step drop, flush from the pocket, rolling to his left, flag on the play. Not a lot of room, and just runs out of bounds for no gain. And a flag on the play.
I think it's a holding.
I think it's going to be a hold as well. I think it's coming back.
The referee's talking to Mikey Lopez. Looks like he may have held on for about 2 seconds too long on the back shoulder pad.
So that'll move them back. They'll replay 2nd down. But they'll have a long way to go. They need the 35-yard line. 3-point lead. This is a tight game. I mean, this is about as close as you can get between really two games that haven't played a clean game, of course, across the board. But both of these teams have found ways. They found answers to be in this game. It could be very easy for one of these teams to just roll over, but they just haven't done it. They've refused to do it, and we've got a good one here in front of a huge crowd here at St. Mary's.
Definitely a different environment that the Pilots are stepping into. First, you step into a game, basically home field advantage. Wayne State University, where they start off home games. Then you walk into King. Not a lot of fans there from the highlights that I saw personally. This is a new and energized environment they step into, and they're feeling the pressure.
3 receivers out left. Gasparoni checks with the sideline. Makes his correction with the line. He's got Damian King, one-on-one coverage. Blanket safety. This time they go opposite field. Ball tipped and incomplete. Right through the hands of Brady Lee, the backup senior tight end. And that could have been trouble, but it falls harmlessly to the turf for De La Salle. It's third down long.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought one of our safeties were gonna get that, but the ball was just in the air. They didn't know where it was going. But yeah, really, really, really close to an interception right there.
It's a big third down here for the Eaglets. If they're able to get off the field, give themselves an opportunity here. Fourth quarter just starting, but still a lot of time, but not as many possessions as they'd like, I'm sure, coming down the stretch. It's third and long. Ball at the 46-yard line. They need the 35 of St. Mary's. Going deep. Gasparoni, nobody home.
And we have a pass interference.
Flag. Ooh, boy. Reese Hurst, the guilty party. Damian King was the target.
I believe Damian King looked like he was on track there to possibly get to that ball. Santi Gasparoni would not have thrown it that far over his head. I think even though it's the home crowd and a little bias from me, I still think that was holding a little bit on that left shoulder pad from Damian King.
It's a tough call. It maybe looked a little outside to me, but either way, that is a backbreaker for St. Mary's. And I mean, look, Reese Hurst has been the hero at times, and that's a tough one to give up.
Oh yeah, I mean, Reese Hurst has been one of our best players all game, returning that one punt. It's just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think there's a chance he couldn't have caught that. He could have caught that, but there was a little bit of holding.
But just 19 seconds into the fourth quarter here, and we've already into some big-time plays. So the ball spotted at the St. Mary's 38, first and 10, or excuse me, it's third down and 4. So that pass interference call did not give them enough for a first down. Gasparoni takes, trying the edge. Boy, he's going to lose yards. Oh, my goodness. And St. Mary's able to bounce back from that pass interference call. And it's fourth down. No gain on the play, so he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And De La Salle's going to have to punt it away.
I mean, yeah, you know, like, especially after a pass interference, it's kind of hard to come back from something like that. Such a big momentum turnabout. Our defense stayed really strong.
If Jackson Turk can get it to the 1-yard line like he did last time, we could see a horrible field advantage for the Eaglets. And if the Pilots, they're getting the roll.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite to the 1. How about the 5? Does that sound okay?
For the 5 sounds.
Does that work?
3 yards is, in the scheme of things, is still the same amount. It's still good field position for the Pilots to possibly put an end to the momentum that the Eaglets are picking up.
My goodness. I mean, Jackson Turr has been a weapon tonight on special teams. Special teams has been an absolutely huge part of the game tonight.
Definitely. A quiet kid in school, don't get me wrong. A few classes I have with him. But he has been a difference maker on the field, makes his loudness heard in the actual game.
Does he have any soccer background in him, too? He kicks the ball very well.
When he came into our freshman class, he had zero soccer background.
So here's a give up the middle, just trying to keep those legs churning, positive yards. Boy, that was just a heck of a punt. He'll get a yard, maybe out to the, call it the 4-yard line. My goodness.
It is a little bit strange. The Pilots do have 2 soccer players that are double rostered. Luka Ishak is one of them. Neither of them start at kicker or punter, which is a little bit awkward, but either way, Jackson Turr takes over.
All right. Newell's going to throw from the end zone, nearly picked off. Late flag coming in.
Looks like Isaiah Jones did get a hand on that one.
Yep.
But
nearly hauled it in, and now we check the flag.
It seems like the penalties are getting we're getting out of hand with some of these penalties. Some of them are really borderline now on both sides. Looks like we're getting a holding against Isaiah Jones.
Holding against Isaiah Jones.
So 2nd and 1 then?
It'll be 2nd and, we'll call it We'll call it 1. They need the 20-yard line. So 2nd and short here. Newell takes, gives. Boy, that little extra surge maybe got him back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Good stuff there by Dwayne Williams and Anthony Presnell, along with Cam Burgess. They made a great stop there. Prevents the 2nd down to turn into the 1st down for the Eaglets.
So 3rd and 1. Javen Gonzalez has checked into the game.
Late substitution for the Eaglets. Looks like they didn't even have 11 men in the field.
10:15 to play here in the 4th. De La Salle up 3. Javen Gonzalez calls for it, gets it, pushes forward, turning those legs, dragging tacklers with him. Out to the 25-yard line. Big gain and a 1st down.
I think what we saw is the Pilots' defensive line just got pushed on their heels. Honestly, they got picked up, put down.
Under 10, De La Salle up 31-28. Here's a keeper once again, trying to find some room up. Kind of glides over to that right side. He'll get out to the 29-yard line. More flags. Well after the play. No reactions from the players either way.
I don't know whether to be
I just didn't
concerned.
see anything on that play.
I very much agree with you there. Eaglets are backing up unsportsmanlike conduct.
Wow, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Wow, that is difficult. I just, did you see anything?
No,
there?
I saw nothing. I mean, obviously there's some sort of talk going on, but yeah, I mean that's just in a game like this, you can't. That's a tough spot to be in.
I understand Catholic League expectations are high for sportsmanship, but this is a close game, and 15 yards is a lot. I mean, that's a lot, and that pushes them back, gives up a lot of run space.
So 2nd down and forever. Ball's on the ground, able to pick it back up. The De La Salle player into the end zone. De La Salle wants the touchdown. It looked like it was Drew Bohanna that picked it up and ran it in. He's still in the end zone, saying, I have it. They have not made a call yet on whether or not he was down. This would be massive. The officiating crew is getting together to talk about it.
Field goal PATs coming onto the field, but
Drew Bohanna is still in the end zone with the ball. The field goal unit's coming out. The officiating crew hasn't made any indication one way or the other.
I
did not hear a whistle that the play was dead.
I think I heard a whistle once they saw the ball was on the ground. So I don't think it's, unless somehow they can say whistle never happened and convince both teams, I don't see that this is going to be a touchdown for the Pilots, unfortunately.
What are you seeing here, Phil?
I mean, I'm still trying to interpret what happened. I mean, after the drop the ball. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, if they blew a whistle, it can't be a touchdown, obviously, because the play's called dead.
Yeah, and you could see, I mean, the players themselves, kind of acted like the play was over. And then Drew Bohanna ran it in, but they're going to say that
it's Eaglets' ball somehow.
That it's Eaglets' ball, so the play was done. That
I personally interpreted it as a low snap, and he tried to pick it up, and that didn't go so well, and he just took a knee, I guess. I just don't see how it's 2nd down, too. I think the officiating crew has a tough job, but I think we're going to have to...
They changed it, so it is 3rd down. So it's 3rd down and forever. Ball's at the 20-yard line. Here's a toss out, and it's incomplete. Newell looking for his receiver, Lorenzo Barber, but it falls incomplete. Check that. Darian Jones out of the backfield. It falls incomplete, so it's 4th down.
You got space ahead of him, too, if he caught that.
Yep. But they're going to have to punt it away. The punt team hasn't come out yet. Play clock's at 38, so they got enough time.
I do not believe there's a realistic situation unless somebody pulls an Anthony Patani and runs it for a 60-yard punt gain like we saw in the Davison game. But I don't think it's realistic to see a fake here. So I believe Pilots are going to have someone deep back.
So here comes the punt unit late. 15 seconds on the play clock. They haven't even all ran on the field yet. We got a late man coming out from about, we're broadcasting at about the 30-yard line. They're on the other side of the field. He finally gets set. Play clock's at 0.
So both teams now down to 2 timeouts.
They are going to take the timeout. Yeah, that's a spot to be in. I don't know exactly. I mean, you bring the punt unit on late. You want to try to cause confusion for the other team. But if you don't have yourself enough time and leave yourself enough time to get yourself set up, that's a tough spot. And again, we had a late runner on. It was Christopher Coates, who had to go from where we are at about the 30-yard line. He ran all the way far side to the opposite 20 to the opposite side of the field. So they just couldn't get set in time, and the play clock was nearing expiration.
Yeah, it's just like little things that are just hurting our offense. It's like that unsportsmanlike conduct was insanely unnecessary, pushed us all the way back, almost cost us a scoop and score. And then, again, just confusion, and lost us another 5 yards.
Both teams have really struggled with communication. I mean, we've seen timeouts come in critical moments. We've seen momentum just get, hey, we're going to cut off your momentum here, okay? You couldn't communicate. There goes your momentum with a timeout.
9 minutes on the nose to play here in the fourth quarter. De La Salle up 31-28. Chris Renwick, good to have you along this evening for our Drive to the Game coverage. Big-time Catholic League action. 2 very good teams, 2 top 10 teams. Gavin Vlesevic with De La Salle and Phil Assad from St. Mary's joining me in the booth this evening. And again, it feels like just having a hard time kind of getting everything rolling here. But finally, the crew blows the whistle, and we can punt this thing away. That's a good snap. End-over-end kick, fielded at the 35. Glassner reverses field. Ooh, and that one is taken down near midfield. And he had that all the way up at about the 40-yard line and then kind of backtracked, and it'll spot it at the 50-yard stripe, and that's where De La Salle will take over.
I think he tried to get cute and bounce it all the way out to the outside, and that did not go so well for him. As Isaiah Jones looks like he's possibly got a hamstring strain. He's hobbling over to the Pilot sideline all the way from the Eaglets. He will get some rest here. Don't doubt that. I believe offensive coordinator James Light's going to take some time. I don't think he plans to go hurry up and absolutely shove the ball down the throats of the Eaglets.
8:50 in this one left. Here's a give, trying to find the edge. Breaks through a couple of tacklers, pushing forward. First down inside the 40 near the 35-yard line. That's a good run there by Cam Flowers. Just kind of weaving his way through tacklers and picks up a fresh set here for De La Salle.
Flowers came up critical in the first drive for the touchdown. Even though Gasparoni took it himself, Flowers was able to bring a few nice receptions, and that's a quick bubble that got him 10 yards.
And again, heads-up play, staying in bounds. Clock continues to run. 8:25 to play here in the fourth quarter. De La Salle on offense inside St. Mary's territory has a 31-28 lead. To the shotgun. Calls for it. Gets it. Gives it. Up the middle. Mike Lopez dancing around near the 35-yard line. Pick up a 3.
Mikey Lopez again. Another guy that stepped up even when Gatine is not in. Lopez is a playmaker. We've seen him break out from the backfield, run about 50 yards downfield for the touchdown that put the Pilots up in the second half to start off. And Eaglets have responded, and Lopez has bounced back.
2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2. Here's a keeper. Gasparoni takes it up the middle. Lots of room inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. And that's a first down. Well, you got to give those guys up front credit. Lot of credit up front. You're down 2 starting guards, and they're able to find some space there. That's good stuff.
Definitely. Nick Williams has now subbed in instead of Joey Stevenson. At right guard, it looks like they've been able to get the big push, even with the injury of Ryan Hale and David Birch, both ruled out with knee injuries.
7:07 to play. Fourth quarter action. Here's a keeper. Gasparoni hurdling over a man, still on his feet and finally being pushed back. There go the whistles. It was a fake give on the sweep to Phoenix Glasner, and that was just well covered.
For sure. The hurdle, a little bit extensive, but honestly, forward progress only got him 2 yards. He started getting pushed back. I don't like the move as much. Could have bounced it inside for a few extra yards. Outside was contained by the corners and the safeties for the Eaglets.
2nd and 8. Two receivers to the right. Throws that way. Phoenix Glasner taken down. That is a good tackle there. Heads up play, keeping his eyes on the field, is Brett Bochenek. First time we've called his name today. It's a good play.
Glasner getting good perception over the middle. Something Pilots have gone to just to get a few yards, even a few first downs early in the game. They're coming back to it in the late part of the fourth quarter.
Gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 3. Critical 3rd down. Gasparoni checks with the side, clarifies with his line. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Mike Lopez in the backfield. Trying to shoot the gap. Eaglets can't do it. Gasparoni finds the edge and enough for a first down inside the 5.
Gasparoni, another great rush off the edge there for the Pilots. He'll bring it down just around the 3-yard line. Incredible rush for him in order to break it out to the sideline.
1st and goal for De La Salle, looking to get back on top, expand that lead. They're up by 3, 31-28. Inside 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. This would be big.
Definitely. I think Pilots are headed straight to the Wildcat offense. Gasparoni will keep it himself. I can only imagine here as Wagner in motion.
Here's a keeper up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, De La Salle.
They can count that one. Gasparoni's another rushing touchdown for him. He hasn't had to pass it a lot today. He's versatile, puts it in the end zone. That's another lead for the Pilots that's extended up to 9 points, hopefully 10 here if Jackson Turr makes a PAT.
And Phil, that's a tough one. But here's the good news. Is you still got 5.5 minutes left. They have found a way. They have found a way to respond. Now, the reality is you got to make something happen pretty quick here, I think.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's like, obviously all ball is down to the big things. But it's the small things, too, that contribute. You know, those flags, unsportsmanlike conduct, things like that, like I mentioned before. We've got to, like, control ourselves. You know what I mean? There's 5.5 minutes left. We're still in the game, down by 10 points. But we got to make the small changes count.
Yeah, sure. No, and look, you said it earlier. I think you said it great. Those small changes can lead to big things.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that has unfortunately kind of been what's bit the Eaglets here late in this one. I think you're exactly right about it. So now they'll get it back. And again, I think at this point, you know, De La Salle had some success on those squib kicks earlier, on those kind of little short pop-ups. And I think from a St. Mary's perspective, it's heads up. It's be heads up, be smart, and don't make a mistake at this point. You cannot afford to turn the ball over.
Oh, yeah. Especially now, you're down 10 points. Guy you need to be looking at is Bryson Williams. That's the guy you need. And usually he will provide for that.
This is a big kickoff for the Pilots. If they can control special teams, put them deep, that would be the goal.
This one fielded, and then on the turf, picked up. Oof. A sigh of relief over the stadium as that one nearly turned over, but a heads-up play. You know, you talk about difference makers, and certainly both these teams have them. DJ White was the one who put that one on the turf, but that was very close to being an issue, but he, again, had some space over there, caught it on the run, full head of steam, and instead the Eaglets take over at their own 20. 1st and 10. Here's a give. Up the middle. Not a ton of room. Jacob Turr on the tackle there. Pick up 5 out to the 25. Excuse me, pick up 4, so bring up 2nd and 6.
When Coach Dan Roan was speaking to the Pilots after last Friday's win, they were concerned about possible injuries this week. Nobody had gotten injured yet, and this is the first chance of adversity the Pilots are really seeing outside of down and distance. This is something off the field that they have to be concerned about.
So short gain of 1 out to the 25-yard line. Bring up 3rd and 5. Clock continues to run. An issue here for St. Mary's. 4:20 to play.
Both teams are out of their timeouts. Pilots called an early timeout. Coach Dan Rowe not happy with that. Then the Eaglets had to take one because of miscommunication.
Newell takes. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Here's a little screen out to the left side of that formation, and he's not going to get there. 4th down, ball at the 26, so a gain of 1. It's 4th and 4. Again, clock is an issue here. Haven't taken many deep shots down the field, and they're going to let this thing kind of run and down to 3:40. Down 10. Axel Newell takes the snap. Rolls to his right, getting pressure, throws, incomplete. Falls to the turf. That is good coverage. Who else? Dalton Drogosh, the linebacker, and it's a turnover on downs.
Dalton Drogosh, 5+ tackles, at least 4 tip-aways today. Dropped into pass coverage and ice there. We could see possibly another college offer come next week. He's had this is probably his best game so far out of the first 3.
And that's a tough spot just to be in here for St. Mary's. I mean, look, timeouts don't have any. Time, not much left. So you got to push it down the field, and they just couldn't find any space.
I mean, that was a make or break drive, obviously, for our offense, and we couldn't capitalize, and now we're in very much a losing position. I mean, we want any chance at winning this game. Something's got to happen now.
3:33 to play. I think the playbook here probably shrinks a little bit if you're De La Salle. You want to keep this thing tight, run some clock, and we've got whistles. I'm out here for De La Salle. So I don't know that they liked what they saw or if they didn't have the right play, right formation. Either way, they take the timeout. 3:33 to play here in the 4th quarter. De La Salle up 38-28.
I think the correct answer, in my opinion, is start running the ball right up the middle.
Yeah.
You do not have to get this first down, score another touchdown. Nobody's asking you to blow up a giant play out of nowhere. You are trying to get under 1 minute on this drive.
And I mean, look, Gasparoni's a guy who, and we got another late flag. Threw it right at the huddle of St. Mary's. They're standing at about their 30-yard line, near their sideline. The referee came over, threw the flag, threw it about, 10 yards or so towards the huddle, and he's coming over to talk to him. So again, some words, some chirping. It looks like he's picking it up. Okay.
So sideline warning, but let me take back my sideline warning, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. Either way, it's 1st and 10 from the 26. Gasparoni gives. Mike Lopez up the middle. Inside the 25 to the 23. So gain of 3 on the play brings up 2nd down and 7. Clock runs, 3:13 to play. De La Salle in prime position deep inside St. Mary territory, up 10. De La Salle has won 4 straight, trying to make it 5. St. Mary's trying to get back in the win column in this critical Catholic League matchup. Motion man. Here's a give. Mike Lopez bounces it outside. Tackled immediately, shy of the 20, called to 21. So looking at a 3rd and 5 coming up here.
I mean, right now, if you're St. Mary's, you just want to stop this 3rd down, get that ball back. If they kick a field goal, we're down, still a 2-score game. You have a chance, but you have to capitalize now.
So clock continues to run. Play clock at 20, so you're looking at, you can get this thing off. You can burn another 12 seconds here. Again, De La Salle in no hurry. Gasparoni settles in, takes the snap, and tackled. Loss about a yard, so it's 4th down. And St. Mary's will take their timeout. So they'll stop the clock with 1:51 left.
So in total, Eaglet will have to have 2 possessions at some point, unless they can somehow kick the ball off to the 1-yard line and get a safety.
So as they talk this over, one of these teams is improving to 3-0. The other one will drop to 2-1 in a very competitive league. But I think that we've seen these are 2 darn good football teams. Really, really good football teams in kind of a wacky game, right? We've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen special team scores. We've seen long passes. We've seen goal line plays. It has been across the board. But both of these teams have shown, when one of them throws kind of a haymaker, the other one goes, delivers one back. These are 2 powerhouse programs in the state of Michigan.
Oh, yeah. And St. Mary's has really impressed me today, honestly. I could tell we might be able to compete in the playoffs.
So it's 4th down. De La Salle keeps their offense out on the field. Gasparoni taking a shot towards the end zone. Incomplete. No flags on the play. St. Mary's holds and turns it over on downs. That's a good play. $1:46 to play. St. Mary's down 10. It's 38-28. And they'll get this ball starting at their own 23.
Flag down.
Late flag.
Don't believe it's anything during the play specifically. Might have a sideline warning. Oh, after the play, it'll be unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike on St. Mary's. And then we've got a taunting call on De La Salle, so they will offset. So it's 1st and 10 from the 23. Axel Newell takes the snap. Got to push it down the field. Got a man. Caught out across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Bryson Williams hauls it in. St. Mary's got to get to the line quick. 1:38 to play. Axel Newell, 3 receivers left. Ball far hash mark, takes, getting pressured, scrambling, got to get rid of it, does, got a man, caught. Chad Willis gets out of bounds. Clock stops at 1:27.
They rule incomplete pass. They said he was out of bounds.
Incomplete pass.
That side judge on the close sideline for St. Mary's, I don't think he got both feet down. I don't even, if he even got one in, it looked like.
Is it both feet in high school?
It's just one in high school.
Just one?
Either way, clock stops, 1:27 to play, 2nd and 10. 3 receivers left. Axel Newell takes, throws over the middle, incomplete, almost picked off. That was Dalton Drogosh who got his fingertips on it. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10, 1:23 to play. St. Mary's down 10.
If anybody stands out for the Pilots defensively, it's Dalton Drogosh tonight. If there was a defensive MVP for every game, it would go to him, 100%. He stepped up, made a difference in this game. First to scoop and score, tackles for loss. He's tipped the ball at least 5 times. He's created a lot of disruption that the Eaglets are struggling with.
Newell takes, quick throw, incomplete. Had his receiver, Darian Jones Jr., out of the backfield, but a little hot, couldn't handle it, incomplete. It's 4th down. Here's your ball game.
This matchup did not disappoint at all. It's been basically close this entire game. There has not been a moment where we were not on the edge of the seats until the last 3 minutes, honestly.
It's not over yet.
It's not over until it's over.
Oh, yeah.
1:19 left, 4th and 10. St. Mary's down 10. Newell takes, getting pressured, going to get sacked. Taken down inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. Axel Newell loses his lid. And that is just a really good play drawn up as Anthony Batani gets that win-sealing sack.
Batani, we did not announce his name as much as we did in the Davison game, probably, but he still did make a big play there regardless. Pulled a sack in. Pilots will kneel it for the next 4 plays, and they'll call it a night.
It's the greatest play in football. The victory formation, that's where De La Salle finds themselves. They will likely, barring something quite unforeseen, make this 5 consecutive wins over St. Mary's. But, Phil, look, I mean, you got to feel good about where your team's at.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, our team, it's been kind of like they haven't been as good as they usually are the last 2 years. Definitely been rebuilding. But this year, I could tell it's something different. Like, we're competing with De La Salle, one of the best teams in the state. And I could really think that if we played them again, we have a chance to beat them for sure. I mean, it was really close until the last, 3-4 minutes of this game. And, it showed me we could basically go toe-to-toe with any team in the state.
Want to thank our staff here on site, Ray Templin, our engineer, also our communicator with the referees. Appreciate that. Ray getting back out on the football field. Nick Roddy, our executive producer. And, of course, our friends with SportsCaster. They give you a little bit of coverage here after the game as well. Also, can we shout out your uncle?
Oh, yeah.
A longtime WJR listener.
Hey, Uncle Joe, if you're listening, shout out to you, man.
Shout out Uncle Joe. Appreciate you, Uncle Joe. You got a good nephew here.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Assad at St. Mary's, thank you, my friend. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And Gavin Vlesevic, thank you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you. De La Salle advances to 3-0 as zeros are on the scoreboard. They win it 38-28. It's going to do it for us here out at St. Mary's. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your Friday night, a wonderful weekend. I'm Chris Renwick saying so long. You've been listening.
This is SportsCaster.com.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
It's Messi. It's his tournament. Is it written in the stars?
They hand it off. Haskins following his block. Haskins, touchdown!
This is your time.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports?
New York Knicks fans were at the Barclays Center booing because we recognize that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Want to be the next great voice in sports? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Amplify the drama.
To the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh,
and create memories forever etched in our minds.
A year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Sends shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen? Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard. SportsCaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Create your own sports talk show, stir it up with sports commentary, and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. SportsCaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
Hey, welcome to the postcast of the Orchard Lake St. Mary Warren de La Salle football game here on SportsCaster.com and WJR. I am Michael Spath, joined by Justin Rose, who is our social media coordinator, formerly a reporter, a sports reporter on television.
I was.
Once upon a time.
Long time ago, it seems like these days. Long time ago. But what a football game.
Oh, my gosh.
What a football game.
I mean,
two of these teams obviously coming in here in the Catholic League, hoping to kind of put good stock going into their season. It's only week 3 of the season, lest we forget, 9 weeks in a high school football season. So every game really matters for them. And these two teams really put a lot out on the field. I couldn't believe how many big plays were in this game.
There were, 38-28, so you've had, whatever that is, I'm trying to do math.
Don't. 66.
9 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns in the game. 2 of them kickoff returns by Orchard Lake St. Mary's, to the point where De La Salle just didn't know what to do. They kicked it deep. The guy returned it 100 yards. They kicked it short, a squib kick. The guy returned it, 50 yards. And so finally they just were like, we're just going to kick the ball out of bounds. What else can we do? Which would turn out to be a pretty good strategy. But I've now seen De La Salle. You've seen De La Salle now twice. We saw them against Davison in week 1. They've taken the best hits, the best punches from these opponents, and they've found a way to win. I know that according to a lot of different media outlets, they're ranked in the top 5 in the state of Michigan. I think they're very deserving. They're a complete team. They've got a great quarterback. We're hopefully going to talk to Santa Gasparoni here in a little bit. They're really, there's not a weakness from this De La Salle football team we've seen so far.
It looks like this team is primed to get back to the state finals like they did a year ago. This team has experience. Some of the coaching decisions obviously kind of were interesting in this game, especially when you talk about the kickoffs, because they were beating Orchard Lake pretty soundly, except they gave up 14 points on special teams.
Yeah.
And you look at those plays at the end of a season, if they would have lost this game and you go, well, why did you lose to Orchard Lake? It's because you gave up 160 yards and touchdowns on kickoffs. And those are in high school, you don't really score a whole lot on kickoffs and punt returns. That's just not something that typically happens in this one. But I got to give a little credit to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They have some athletes on that team. A couple of great plays, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks. Defensively, a lot of great they were one of the teams in the top 25 as well. So I don't, by any stretch of the imagination, think Orchard Lake season is not headed in the right direction. You came up against a team that has state championship aspirations. You fell a little bit short, but they were right there until about 6-7 minutes left to go in this game.
Yeah, honestly, it was 31-28. De La Salle was leading in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, and Orchard Lake was driving. They were down to about the 25-yard line, and their running back, who, I'm not going to name the kid. I don't want to put him out, but he fumbled the ball on a key play. But he had just had a big long run, so he fumbled that ball. De La Salle got it back, and then it was like a field position battle after that, and then obviously De La Salle finished it off here. With a touchdown from their quarterback at the end here. But no, I really like Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They've got a couple of kids, and there's 3 kids that are committed to play football at Michigan State. One of them, Bryson Williams, their wide receiver had. You were right there. I was right there.
Great catch.
Really, if you're a Spartan fan, you can be really excited about Bryson Williams. I mean, he had a fingertip catch, and then the defender was all over him, and he kind of just like shrugged him off, knocked him on his rear end, and was kind of, you know, a little bit standing over him about like, oh my God, like look what I just did to you. I mean, he was really impressive. They got 2 quarterbacks, a senior, Axel Newell, who you know, was slinging around a little bit, a young kid, a sophomore, Jabin Gonzalez, who's probably their future. I mean, so they've got a lot of talent. I'm with you. The Catholic League is a really hard league. It's probably the best league in the state of Michigan, and so it's not going to get easier after this, but they have got a lot of pieces I think can be excited about.
I mean, this is just the beginning. 3 weeks into the season, and all of a sudden, here we go. We've got a little bit of a separation here. De La Salle obviously sitting at the top of those standings right now, and is a couple of people join us on the broadcast here.
Yeah, I'll let Taryn Fritching, who is our analyst and one of our students here at Troy Athens High School, introduce our guest who is part of the winning team. Taryn, go ahead and tee it up.
So our first guest of the evening, we have senior linebacker Dalton Drogosh, and I'm really just going to get straight into it. How did that first touchdown of the game really just set how and determine how the rest of the game went?
When we scored, everybody on the side was getting fired up. We knew it was going to be a dogfight coming in. But as soon as we put those points on the board, kind of put in everybody's head like, yeah, we're in this now. So once that happened, it was a huge game changer.
Well, and I'll just, for those who are listening, Dalton picked up a fumble and ran it back about 25, 30 yards or so for that first score. You guys had another fumble late in the game. Justin and I were just talking about it. Probably, I mean, you could argue that first play and then this fumble late in the game when you guys were up 31-28. Tell us about obviously that play and how much that helped to stall momentum.
They were driving down the field a little bit on us. They were gapping up the middle a little bit. So I was playing backside, and I came across and punched it out, and we ended up grabbing it. So when that happened, you know, it got us our offense the ball back, and then we could run some time out, and it's huge.
Did you expect this game to be as back and forth as it was? I mean, you guys had to kind of keep your heads with you because they brought it to 3 points late in that, in this game.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a great game all week. We've watched their film, so we knew that they returned guys too, and they got a couple big-time commits on their team. And they're out here for the same reason us to make it the state championship. So we knew it was going to be a dogfight, but those are the kind of games we want to be in.
Were you at all nervous after the 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns?
No, I wouldn't say I was nervous. I went to my coach, and at the end of the game, our last kickoff, I said, I want to be on this kickoff. So I ended up going out there and kickoff. But I wasn't nervous because I knew as soon as our offense and our defense could get back on the field, we'd be fine. But we weren't happy about it.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about earlier. I mean, you guys went with a deep one. He returned it. Reese Hurst returned it 100 yards. And then you go with the short squibber.
Yeah.
And they also return it.
Yeah.
I imagine that in Monday's practice, special teams work is going to get a renewed focus for De La Salle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I know our coach wasn't very happy about it coming from the NFL and coaching the NFL. So that's just points. We're giving them points. So he doesn't like that, but Monday should be fun, yeah.
All right. Well, we will let Dalton go. Congratulations. You guys are 3-0. I got to feel that with this victory, I mean, a big Catholic League game, you guys are position yourselves to be the team to beat in your conference.
Yeah, it's definitely a great win. We're going in every week with the same mentality, just beat who we have up that week. So, end goal is make it to the state championship. So we're fired up about the season.
All right. Thank you. Taryn, go ahead and introduce our next guest.
All right. Second guest of the night, we have running back Michael Lopez. So hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go first off just into the huge catch you had in the opposite end zone. Just how big was that for the momentum of the game, and how did that really just bring back your fire?
I think we were going a little bit too slow. We were moving, we were being sluggish, and then I think that was a huge momentum change, and we needed it badly. But our team, we're always going to come through. We're always going to get the job done. So,
Michael, I mean, you're a running back. We'll get to your long touchdown in a second here. The hands that you had on that one, and you had leaked out of the backfield. Were you the designed target? Were you the first option for Sante there, or was that just kind of feeling the defense out?
No, I'm the first option there. My coaches have a lot of confidence in me, and I have a lot of confidence in myself. And a lot of confidence in Sante to make that throw under pressure, and he made the throw, and I made the catch, and it all worked out.
I will say, though, you went out at the 1 yard line, so you gave up the touchdown.
Yeah, I was a little out of breath.
Go ahead, Taryn.
How big would you say this win is going even deeper into your Catholic league? Just how many teams you have in your conference? Just how big would you say this win is?
I think this one is huge. It's an extremely hard tone setter to let people know that we're back again, and we're always gonna be tough. We're always gonna be tough to beat, but we always like to think of ourselves as the favorites. Like, we're gonna win. We're always trying to go to the state championship. That's the standard here, and that's what we're gonna do.
All right, now I might have my order out of whack here, but I believe you scored your long touchdown after they had returned the kickoff, the second kickoff. Was that right? Because they had closed within. I think they made it a maybe at the time 21-14 game, or right around then. You had a 75-yarder. Take us through that play, what you saw, because you got to the, and then the breakaway speed too. I mean, there's a lot of great athletes on this Orchard Lake team, and you're able to pull away from everyone.
Yeah. The play, I mean, I was just sitting there. I got the ball. I was waiting for my guys to open up a hole, and, of course, they came through. And so I found the hole, and then, it was just run away at that point, just go as fast as I could go.
Well, I mean, obviously when there's no scoreboard here. I always look when there's NFL games or college games, and they can look up on the scoreboard and see themselves. Yeah. So when you're running here, you're just like, you didn't look over your shoulder, so you're just going as fast as you can until you cross that goal line.
Oh, yeah, I had full confidence in myself that nobody was catching me. I was pretty certain I was going to take it all the way.
All right. You want to finish up here, and we'll grab Sante too?
So, you guys excited for next week? What's just the feeling going into it?
Always excited for next week. Another work week coming up ahead. Got another tough opponent. Think this weekend just savor this one, and then come back on Monday ready to work.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lopez. You've probably never been called Mr. Lopez before, have you? No. All right, I'm curious because we've covered you guys twice now. I've heard your first name twice, two different ways. Are we going with Sante or are we going with Sante?
Sante or Sante. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. But a lot of people say Sante.
It doesn't matter to you what people call you?
Sante.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Sante Gasparoni here, the starting quarterback for De La Salle. Taryn, I'll let you open it up here with the questions.
This was just a huge win for you guys.
Yeah.
Just how have you played different compared to this Orchard Lake St. Mary's game as compared to either Davison or King?
I mean, Davison game was a defensive. Defense won us that game. The offense was pretty slow. King last week was defense and offense, and then this week was back and forth, of course. I mean, going into Catholic League play, it's going to be a battle, and we're going to compete with each other. So it's great to enter the Catholic League with a W.
Tell us a little bit, Sante. Obviously, early in the game, you had the big completion to Mike Lopez. Put you guys in scoring position. You had the 1 yard touchdown run. Then a great touchdown throw at the end of the second quarter to put yourselves up 21-14. And so this was we saw you in the Davison game, and actually your backup quarterback was kind of the star of that game.
Yeah.
So coming out here to perform like you did, just to have the individual performance that you had, what did it mean to you within the scope of what it means for this team?
I mean, it means a lot to me. I mean, I was kind of slow the first 2 weeks, and this week I had a great week of practice, and I was playing for myself to obviously have a breakout game, and I did. And being with my guys and sticking in this game because it was a battle, and Orchard Lake was really making some plays, and we were having some plays and penalties and then some bad plays. But, I mean, it was great. I had my teammates around me, and they really got me going and got the rest of the guys going.
So, great game today. We got, next week coming up. I mean, who do you guys have next week?
Next week we play Toledo Central Catholic.
Right.
They actually just got their 33-game win streak broken last week. It was against Catholic Central. So we play Toledo CC. They're a great team. I mean, we came short 5 last year. They're a great team, a good Catholic League team that just joined. And after that, then we played Detroit Catholic Central. So
yeah.
It's no joke.
So, going into that game, are you preparing any way differently? They're a big team, 33-game win streak that just got broken. Anything, going into that game differently for you and your team?
For myself and the team, no, not really. Just a great week of practice. Everyone's locked in, focused up, and offense is going to get the defense better, and the defense is going to get the offense better.
Right.
I've like always been interested in this because of the Catholic League. Is it like weird playing teams from Ohio or?
No, it's not too weird because I mean they're all from Toledo and it's not too far from like where we are and everything. No, it's not weird at all. I mean, I actually like it. More Catholic League teams and those teams that we play against they're good too. So.
Well, congratulations to Santi Gasparoni and this Warren De La Salle football team, 3-0. 2 big victories that we've seen in person. We're not here to cover you anymore. There's no more games that SportsCaster and WJ are going to be at, so you're going to have to go out there and win by yourself.
Sounds good. I will. We will as a team, too.
All right. Well, Santi, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to Taryn from Troy Athens for one of our student broadcasters here, Antonio Shamas representing Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Phil Assad from St. Mary's, and Gavin Velasevic from Warren De La Salle here tonight broadcasting the game. Of course, our thanks to our WJR team, Ray Templin, Dave Rieger, Nick Roddy, Chris Renwick, the play-by-play man, our SportsCaster.com team, Mark Pastoria, Steve Adams, Justin Rose, Kristen Kujua. Sorry, I totally just botched her name again. And all of us, thank you so very much. Next week, we will be in Detroit at the Cass Tech Detroit King game. You can go to SportsCaster.com and watch all of this after the fact. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Congratulations to De La Salle.